in my life.
There's been heartache and pain.
What did he say?
Heartache and pain.
No, but that's not what he said.
I thought he said heartbreak and pain. Okay, same thing.
Yeah, okay.
I wanna know. I don't know.
Who is this?
I don't know, but power ballads are the shit, bruv.
It sounds like the Bee Gees, bro.
Nah, it's not that old.
Think this world and love.
I want to know
You know
what
this.
love
I wanna know what love is.
Jesus.
Large up
Is it
webs,
foreigner?
boy.
Foreigner.
Large up webs.
Foreigner, yeah.
I think it's foreigner. Okay, so anyway, so
Please, bro.
that is how Stavros came about. And then since then, that's 2002, around 2002, 2003. I haven't like been through that stage of being like depressed now.
So you lot are trying to tell me that I'm squadded up with a man with multiple personality disorder,
Yeah.
and I have been for the last 15 years.
And I hate every single one of them.
Yeah, boy. Anyway.
I don't believe you just did that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects,
And the
welcome
flies.
to Eloquently Saying Nothing, the podcast. This is episode number 44. Hashtag ESN pod on your social medias. I am Stavros Boss, and around the room with me tonight, well, we don't have, what's his name? We don't have Web Slinger, so for once, let me say that now before I forget. Web Slinger is not in the room tonight, so big him up wherever he is. He's too busy for us now. He's famous or whatever he is. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not here tonight. So shout him out. But in the room with us tonight, we have. Who wants to go first?
Mr. Wolf is here. What's happening, people? And I got a surprise for y'all. Nigerian proverb time. Nigerian Yoruba proverb is, the eyes that didn't go blind upon seeing evil are waiting to see good. Basically translate to, the best is yet to come. Boom.
Okay.
Dog
All right.
man ting.
All right.
You
And-
look at me in a funny way.
Hmm?
Simple Simon.
I'm not looking at you in no funny way, man.
Okay.
I was just pre-ing the thing and meditating on what you said, innit?
Pre in the ting.
Pre-ing the thing.
We also have Simple Simon.
Simple Simon is in the building. Yes, act like you know, act like you heard. They are.
And the fat one in the corner.
I don't know why you're calling me the fat one. Big up, Big Wahala in the building.
He actually calls himself big.
You look like Oslo from Keeping Up Appearances in your white string vest there. You know which one is Oslo?
Which one is keeping up appearances again?
That's the one with Mrs. Bouquet.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy
The
that
neighbor,
was,
yeah.
the one that was in
yeah,
string
yeah,
vest.
yeah,
Man
yeah.
said Oslo, you know.
With his string vest there.
The fact you remember his name.
Oslo. I think it's Oslo. Is it Oslo?
Who knows,
You
man? I
came
don't
out
know.
of your mouth so fresh that it must be
Hey, Oslo, man.
Even if it's not
It
Oslo,
is.
it's
It is
Oslo,
Oslo,
now.
With your white string vest. Man is wearing white string vest. You know this man wore the string vest in the holiday as well.
That's how it's supposed to go, man.
Thank you.
You can't,
Thank
you can't leave out your marina. That's the marina right there. You have to wear that.
Fisherman.
Listen, man.
As a yard man, I know them things.
String vest. My wife hates the string vest, and I love the string vest.
It's a great invention.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's clothed and air conditioned at the same time.
Yes.
It's a net. You can use it to bath.
The string vest is a beautiful thing. You can use it to bath. You can use it to catch fish, and it keeps you warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot.
Trust me.
It's a magic.
It's a magic.
So you call the string vest the same kind of hard sponge as well that they
Really?
use?
No, he said you can use it.
You could do it.
What,
but
that actual thing?
of course,
No, he's gonna use a string vest to bath, are they?
But you could.
you could.
Singlet.
As a last resort, you
Man.
could.
It is singlet.
You know, you could.
It's like the Swiss Army knife of
clothing.
of garments.
Yeah, of attire.
But you can definitely
Never.
use it to catch fish.
Definitely. You can
Right.
strangle a man with that easy as well.
Yeah,
Why
if-
would we make it a
You
weapon?
know what I mean? You have to, because it's all facets of life.
If you were on an island with them times where, what was it, Alive, that film,
Yeah.
where they wanted to kill each other, you could catch the fish with this, strangle the next man that tried to eat your leg with that.
And women,
You get me?
And women can
And then
actually wear
wash.
it as like a sexual thing as well.
Yes!
So your nipples can peek out of it.
It's also a sexy clothing. Okay, a woman comes out wearing a long string vest, nothing else. Is that not turning you on?
Right, it's a goal.
Is that not what,
No,
what's her name?
Look at that. What's wrong
It's
with
a
you?
goal.
What's her name? Rihanna in that video with Drake.
Rihanna.
Is that not what she was wearing?
Yes.
Big time forward.
Yeah.
And it looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, you're right. He right.
Just tell you, it could happen.
It is the Swiss Army knife of undergarment.
How's everyone doing, man? How's everyone doing? Before I tell you about my week.
Boy, I've been drinking a lot.
Why?
I don't know. It's work, to be honest with you.
What are you drinking?
Exactly.
What's
drinking
your tipple?
some hard shit out here, bro.
Guinness
Vodka.
or spirits?
Nah, it was he's right. It's been a bit of vodka. What else is there?
In the Russian
Brandy.
house.
Yeah.
Boy, this man's gone to the hard stuff, man.
I've gone to the hard stuff, man. I skipped all the beer and all that.
Fair enough.
I want the white and the brown.
Yeah, that's it, boy. Interracial.
More time I'll be in the trap with Chris Brown and Rita Ora. That's 6'7".
Rita Ora.
That's brown and white.
Yeah, she white.
She's alright, that chick.
He wants a Kardashian's cousin.
He wants one.
Who?
When the Caucasus Mountains.
She's from the same country as the Kardashians,
Is
isn't
she? Yeah, yeah.
They're
yeah.
dangerous, those people.
She's is
Yugoslav.
it okay to say that she's okay?
Nah, she's alright.
Some
She's
people,
alright.
some people just don't like her because they think
Yeah, why?
she's trying to appropriate
Okay.
black culture, innit? Or she is
Like everybody else.
I thought she was some black something in there, though.
And that's the
Nah,
thing. It's
she
like
wasn't.
if she comes across looking a bit like it, and she has some of the some of the stereotypical traits of a black, and she's doing black music, then it's like we don't like this woman because who are you from the Caucasus Mountains, and you're taking our star, and then you're taking our men. Is she taking our men?
I don't know about that.
Well, them
No.
man, yeah, a couple
No,
of
she
them
went for a
man.
Kardashian, man, innit?
No, but back in the day when she was on
Yeah,
the circuit,
them man
Didn't they say
was
that she slept with Jay-Z? That was the one big
Stories.
thing that they was always
There
saying.
was some story about her that
Yeah,
that she slept with
Jay-Z.
somebody and she was home wrecking or something.
Is she Becky?
It was Jay-Z. That's what Becky with the good hair. They was talking about her.
no.
Then they
But,
said it was, what's her name? Dame Dash's ex-wife.
but back in the day,
And Rihanna as
on
well.
the circuit, and I'm talking about the British circuit. That's what rumor has it that she's been around.
Yeah.
I don't even care. It's not my...
It don't matter.
It don't matter, but she's alright.
Hence the name Rita Ora. But anyways,
Jesus.
Armenians are very, very,
They're on a mission.
to just take the blacks, man.
They're on a mission, boy.
Because obviously Serena is not Armenian.
They're not taking the blacks. They're taking black wealth. It's the wealthy ones that they're going for. You don't see the regular Armenian going with a regular black person.
I don't know if I've ever met an Armenian before.
We have. We
Where?
used to play football with one.
Which one? Marcello.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, he didn't like blacks, that one.
Did you
Nah.
foul him?
Nah, he was alright with us, but it's like you could see that he wasn't prepared to marry. If you know what I mean.
when were you married?
Yeah, so.
All right, so you've been drinking because of work, you saying?
Yeah. I've been working hard. We just finished the massive project and it's gone out now, so maybe the drinking will stop. Maybe.
All right, okay. Well done.
Do you drink when you're stressed?
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's not a regular thing. It's really abnormal for me. I'm not one that goes to guises when I'm in any kind of stress. I kind of do the complete opposite. I would change my diet rather than go and take or indulge in
Take hard
intoxic-
drink.
How do you handle stress stuff?
I don't know. I don't get stressed.
As black men, I would like to know how we handle stress because
Okay.
we're always talking about depression in the black community, depression.
Who's we?
I said they are always talking about.
Yeah,
I didn't say we are.
It's quite.
How do you think I handle stress?
You.
You get virgin.
I don't think I've ever
You're
seen you.
crazy.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen you
A release.
in a state
I burst.
of distress, ever. And I know there's been special situations you've been in, but I don't think I've personally seen you.
He was distressed when I asked if I could go with you. Said.
No, that,
I was
That's
in
my
shock.
sister.
that's
I was in shock.
Yeah, that was shock.
But I don't think I've actually seen you in a state of distress. So I'm not 100% sure. But I would like to know, as brothers, we're all here, how do we handle our stresses? Because we don't even necessarily talk to each other in great detail about our stresses in the first place either. Which they say that you should do. You should find your friends and you should talk to them and tell them. You know, people always saying about this stress thing. By the way, as much as I agree that black mental health in the black community needs something that we all need to look at, I also think we need to start being a bit careful about what people are describing as depression as well. Because I think a lot of people are using this word, depression, and they're not. Maybe it's me being a bit funny about it, but I think sometimes you're not depressed. You're feeling a bit down at the time, and maybe you need to distinguish between the two of them because there's other people that's really depressed and they need your assistance.
Yeah, but you can't say that because
Why?
we live in the PC world now. You can't
Yeah,
tell
well,
somebody
man
what
up,
they
man.
are and what they're not.
Mental Health Day was on the 10th of October.
Mm.
I just looked it up.
Yeah, I think
and we kind of missed on
I
that.
want people to make sure that they are okay and in an all right state.
I've got a
But-
friend whose birthday is on the 10th of December, of October.
Are
But
they mentally distressed?
Maybe.
But in terms of pressure and stress, I almost thrive on it, and I may sweat a little bit, but I kind of enjoy it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, be sorry, bitch. No, but I can handle pressure quite well.
So you don't. There's nothing you do out of the ordinary to deal with the stress.
No, I just I channel the energy, zone it into what needs to be done, and just get it done. I used to hold a lot of events, stress, work, stress. You get me? And a lot of the people that work under me kind of like my management style because of how I handle the pressurized situation.
Interesting.
How do you deal with stress?
Me?
Fat boy.
I beg you, tweak his nipple.
Fam. I'm not looking in that direction.
How do I handle stress?
You get angry, bro.
No, it depends. No, I just get angry as normal. That's not stress. That's the day-to-day basis, isn't it?
You turn green.
I tend to not let things fester in the first place. So if something's wrong, I just deal with it straight away, there and then. I don't allow things to fester. So yeah, you could say I can get angry or whatever, but it'll be done. Right, snap in an instant and finish. But most of the time, if something's really bothering me, I just find a method of dealing with it and deal with it. That's how I am. I don't really. I look at how one of my jobs that I used to do is called a problem management job. Problem management, I used to be called. And basically, my job was to look at problems, like look at data, find problems within the data, and find solutions to the problems. And I've taken that job's way and dealt with it in my life way. So I look at an issue, I see what possible outcomes I can have. If there's nothing I can actually do about it, then I just don't stress about it. There's nothing I can do about it. So what's the point of me stressing? If there's things I can do about it, I'll go out of my way to go and do the things I can do. But there's one thing I try not to do is dwell on it.
that from me, by the way.
Okay. One of the things I try not to do is dwell on it. And yeah, I just don't get stressed. And also, because of what happened with my brother, I just don't allow myself to get to that place. I think I just don't see myself getting to the level of being depressed.
Understandable.
I haven't got. How can I put it? I don't want to put anybody in that position where they have to feel like somebody's depressed around them.
What happened to your brother then? Talk.
We said already that the person that he killed himself. What do you want me to say any more than that? He killed himself due to depression, we believe.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We're going to say depression. We don't know because we never asked him, but we're going to decide it's depression.
You're going to assume that our brother took his life nearly 2 decades ago now. It's a while ago now. Over depression.
Almost 2 decades, you're right.
Well, a couple of years still. But, and so you're saying that had an effect on you, that it made you not want to show your feelings, or that you just closed off your feelings? Yes?
Deal with them better.
I don't allow things to get to the point where I would get to that level of being that distressed, which I think makes people.
It's not about allowing, though, is it?
I think it is sometimes.
Mental health and getting depressed.
I don't know about mental health, but if you.
Well, depression is not about I allow myself to be depressed or not.
No, but it's not a case of allowing yourself. But I think a lot of it comes from you internalizing things and not allowing it out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So you're not knowing how to express yourself, not sharing your emotions, not letting off steam.
Yeah.
No, okay, yeah.
I think a lot of the mental depression that comes from it comes from not having an idea of how to deal with certain things that affect you in a certain way. And I think once the people that are depressed, I think that's one of the things they learn, isn't it? How to deal with their depression. So there's people that can't wake up in the morning to go to work because they feel that down. So they find methods of ways that will allow them to do their day-to-day things and how they deal with the depression, I think. And I think because of what happened, I don't know. I just, in my brain, I'm very family first. So I'm like, I don't want to make my family go through that situation again. So I always just deal with the situation. And I think as we're quite open as a family now, so we talk quite openly about stuff, really. If things get on each other's nerves, we'll just say it. We won't keep it or internalize it or keep it behind. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I'm trying rubbish. I don't know.
No. I think...
Yes. He's always trying rubbish.
Oh, here we go.
Go on.
No, you were speaking about speaking openly as a family. Not every family does things like that, you know. It's a big thing that what you guys have got. Is it okay to say that you guys went away?
I was going to say I went away when I spoke about my week.
Right. Yeah, so you guys went away on a family holiday, innit? And I was speaking to your mum, and I just had to acknowledge the fact that is big. I don't know many black families that go away on family holidays.
Yardies do this, innit?
They do a lot.
Caribbeans do it
Well,
more so than...
maybe African families.
I know Americans do it. I mean, they don't leave the country, but they get together. I know that. They have cookouts and all that stuff. Family gets together.
One of the reasons why I put on my events is to get people together. Just to get people together.
Thank you.
You understand?
Community is important.
That's what I'm saying. And, you know, our family do a New Year's Day party. So we'll have family, as much family as we can, get to the house. Friends come to the house, eat, party, drink, and then leave. And it's just about getting together, speaking, talking to that relative that you haven't spoken to in a while. If it's an event that I'm doing, it's all about getting together and enjoying each other's company.
I think with a lot of black families, in large amounts, they usually, if there's going to be a large amount, it's to go home. It's not necessarily to go somewhere that's not home.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not really saying, no, let's all go to Turkey. If that makes sense. But going home, I think they do it quite a bit. Africans, Caribbeans, I think they do that quite often. Weddings as well. If somebody's doing a wedding somewhere, that might be another way to get everybody out of their comfort zone in some way.
But just to go away.
Yeah, it's just a money thing, isn't it, really?
But you know what's interesting, though? Like, I always really enjoy those get-togethers for the same reason what you're saying, like you can see people and whatever. But it's one of those things where I think the frequency or the infrequent nature of it is what makes it so enjoyable. I think if you saw those blacks more than that one time in every 3 years, it might just jar your life. Do you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. Absent makes the heart grow fonder.
Our family's quite close, and I'm talking about like on a bigger scale. The ones in the UK, anyways, and we see each other like all the time. And I'll pass by uncles and aunts' house. I don't call on that, and I'm driving. A lot of them live in South London, and if I go see one of them,
might as well go see all of them.
I just knock on people's doors, aunties and uncles. Culturally, and this is why I said I always when I before I got married, I told my wife our house needs to be an open house policy. And it's what do you mean by that? It's like, well, when I was growing up in our community, in our families, I was including her. I didn't even ask her. I just assumed that you could go to uncle and aunt and go to their house, and there'll be food there. There's it's like they know somebody might come. Yeah, this is how it was growing up in a West African household. I don't know what it's like for the rest of Africa, but I'm assuming it's the same thing, because back home you had them big houses with 12 rooms and food on the stove at all time. And even if there was a houseboy or house girl that would cook as soon as somebody came, is, oh yeah, go and get something. So I said, our house, my people need to be able to come to the house whenever they want without having to go, without having to tell me first, because I don't like this, oh, you didn't call me first, that kind of culture. I said, if you can't deal with that, then whatever. It's, obviously, we're on different pages. And she said, that's cool. One thing she said is, but what if the house is dirty? And I was very deep. I said, then don't let the house be dirty, did it? Because for me, my house is going to be dirty sometimes. Yeah? In fact, not that sometimes, often. That's just life. People's houses are not, well, some people keep their houses supremely spick and spam all the time. I don't. So you're going to come to my house and this is the real me. It's a bit messy. And I said, if you have an issue with people seeing the real us, because that's the house we live in, it's not perfect all the time, then you change who you are. Don't pretend that you're something else. Don't pretend your house is spick and span all the time. The fact is, your house is not clean all the time, and if they come, boy, we was around the corner, because my sister doesn't live far, they went to see my sister, just by the chance, all right, let's pop over to Stavs, and they come to my house and it's messy, then it's messy. Come inside, let me get you some food, so such and such. And I think it's definitely, put it this way, I moved out of my house, as I've said, when I got married. I didn't move out before then. And my brother moved out a few years before me. So the house is 3 bedrooms that my parents live in, and now 2 bedrooms unoccupied because my sister moved out decades ago. So I'm looking now to sort out my old room and my brother's old room. And I told them, listen, I'll make my brother's old room your walk-in wardrobe. I'll make my old room a spare room. And they're like, no. What's wrong with that? We need to make the brother's room a spare room too. I'm like, why? Why do you need 2 spare rooms? My room is big enough to hold 2, 3, 4 people. Yeah, if need be. Nah, we need more space. And I didn't get it. I went to my aunt's house, my missus's aunt, and I just took my niece there. Sorry, my niece or my daughter?
Don't care.
You
about
don't like his child, do you?
I love my daughter. I took my daughter there. I didn't call her. I didn't tell her nothing. So I popped. So I just drove down to hers. I left my missus at work. I drove down to her, and fortunately, she had just come in from shopping, and we're sitting there talking, yada 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 yada. And then she's like, you know what? I want to move. I said, why? Because she lives in a nice area. It's hard for me to park outside my house. I said, is that a reason to move? She's like, yeah, you know, the house is massive. She's got a child. I'm going to leave the house to the child. I was like, wicked. So why don't you move here? Because you got property here. She's like, nah, I need something bigger. I said, why? Taking into account, she's saying, my daughter is not going to leave this house. Yeah? 4-bedroom house. She ain't going to leave it. It's for her. Wicked. What about this place you have? It's 2 bedrooms. No, I need 3 at least. Why? It's just you and your husband. Because I need at least 2 bedrooms for people that are staying up. I said, which visitors? Because I've known you a few years now. I've never seen nobody in this house. Like, yeah, just in case. I said, do people come often? No, not really. But I want 2 bedrooms just in case. I'm like, auntie, man, don't you think that you're like, well, back home, this is what it was like. There was always, and when I went to her house, what happened? Food was there. I didn't tell her I was coming. She didn't know nothing.
You know what? When you get to a married couple or whatever, you know, that's when you know you've gotten to that level of oldism and all of that.
Why?
When the dad just sits around complaining and watches football, and when you come in the house, the aunties just got stew in the kitchen for no reason. There's just food there for no reason.
That's Mr. Wolf's wish.
That's when you get to that level of oldism marriage, boy.
Just food,
frozen stew in the cupboard. In the freezer. Sorry,
that says frozen stew in the cupboard. You know, bare dementia.
when the ice cream tub is not ice cream ever. There hasn't been ice cream in your house ever, but there's bare tubs there of just meat and stew.
Going back to this depression thing, because you asked me how do I get over depression, and I kind of flippantly said,
I didn't say over depression.
Stress. Sorry. And I said I don't really get stress. And then I was sitting there dwelling on it. I said it's a bit of a flippant remark, but I'm trying to think of the last time I was like fully stressed. And outside of my brother who stresses me out.
Boy,
go on.
I remember the time that your baby first came and you hadn't slept for some days. You looked distressed, boy.
I wasn't stressed though.
You looked it. You looked like you had not seen daylight for days.
No, I do sleep. No, I slept. You told me
I said daylight.
You said it looked like I hadn't slept.
I just said you looked like you hadn't seen daylight for days. Are we gonna rewind this again?
Oh God. Okay.
You look like you had not seen daylight for days.
Either way. I don't believe I had stress. No. In fact, she's worse now than she's ever been because now she's talking back, or she's being a bit leery.
Well, this week she was fine.
That's how good she was before. That this is the worst she's been. Anyways, we was on a family holiday, but I'll get to that in a minute. When I was young, I've spoken about this before, and I was in that bad relationship, and I was very depressed. Let me not say depressed because Wahala's right. You shouldn't just use that word and just toss it around. But I was your average, everyday, mopey teenager, stroke, nonsense. You know, nonsense. You people are more worried about flies than about what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm letting out my heart. You people ain't listening. So,
let the guy tweet.
You grew up being upset with this, upset with that. Why can't I go there? Because mommy and daddy didn't let me out. I didn't have to fancy his clothes. Yada yada. Crying about life. Get with a woman and she's there. You know, taking all your money and hitting you on the side. Yeah, crying about life.
Taking all your money and hitting you on the side.
So what happened was I made up an alter ego, and that alter ego was Stavros.
So you had a psychological break. That's how you dealt with the stress.
You're like the Joker.
That's what you want to call it.
Who was you before Stavros?
There was
Toothpick?
Thomas. Toothpick.
Wait, hang on. Did he say his name was Thomas? As
It
in
was Thomas.
Thomas.
Back in the day, Army ringtones.
Jasper Thomas?
I don't remember Thomas.
I'll tell you what.
You're Legion, isn't it?
I don't know what Legion is.
Legion is Professor Xavier's son, and he's got multiple personalities in his brain, and each one of them has a different superpower.
Can I give my story? Well, maybe.
He's a bad boy, isn't he?
He is bad.
Damn.
One of the most powerful mutants on the planet. Isn't he?
No, because we were rappers back in the day, like a lot of the youths, and you always had old egos. And one of my things was as a rapper was that it was a trinity. I had 3 rapping names, and they all had their own rapping style, stroke, egos. So they all had their own personalities. So one of them was it was like the gangster, the knowledgeable one, and whatever, yeah. And it was just a just that was just my thing as a rapper. So I always had the 3 names. Then when I started working at R&B ringtones, we answered calls to people that were buying ringtones. And you didn't use your real name. I'm not using my real name. So so Thomas was born R&B ringtones, and then I met this woman, and then another personality came, and that personality was Stavros. And the name came to me. It just, I don't know why, because I didn't know any Stavros or anything like that. It just came to me. And then I said, Stavros,
Before Stavros. Toothpick.
What do you mean? Yeah, Toothpick was just, that was one of the rapper names. One of my rapper names was Toothpick. Yeah. But anyways.
Cuthbert.
Yeah, there was Cuthbert too. I do sound like a madman, don't it?
Yeah.
But anyways.
You sound like the guy from Split.
Yes.
That film's bad, by the way. I watched that the other day.
Oh, you just watched it?
Yeah, with James McAvoy.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it yet. I got it on my computer.
You said you were going to watch it.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about it last week.
You said you watched it.
I said I've seen it, but I haven't watched it again.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because you need to. All right, okay. Well, anyways, I'm trying to get this out quickly. Stavros came with a personality. This was the actual point. I was at breaking point with this woman and in my life. And I said, I need a new personality that is going to be happy and cheerful and all of that stuff, yeah? Not depressed and miserable like I was. And Stavros is going to be happy, life at the party, yada, yada, yada. And that's what came out. Stavros was life at the party. That's when I started, not doing proper events, but the gatherings. Yeah, that's when like Slagfest started. Because Slagfest wasn't around before. Stavros was the start of Slagfest. Yeah, Slag for life.
Oh, no, let's always acknowledge TBX because he's the original Slag. But
TBX.
You know what you just said that you was heartbreaking? In my head, all I could hear was, in my life, there'll be heartache and pain.
What did he say?
Heartache and pain.
No, but that's not what he said.
I thought he said heartbreak and pain. Okay, same thing.
Yeah, okay.
I want to know. I don't know.
Who is this?
I don't know, but power ballads are the shit, bruv.
It sounds like the Bee Gees, bro.
Nah, it's not that old.
Think this world and
I want to know
You know
what
this.
love
I want to know what love is.
Jesus.
Ding, 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 ding.
Large up
Is it
webs,
foreigner?
boy.
Foreigner.
Large up webs.
Foreigner, yeah.
I think it's foreigner. Okay, so anyway, so
80s, boy.
that is how Stavros came about. And then since then, that's 2002, around 2002, 2003. I haven't like been through that stage of being like depressed now.
So you lot are trying to tell me that I'm squadded up with a man with multiple personality disorder,
Yeah.
and I have been for the last 15 years.
And I hate every single one of them.
Yeah, boy. Anyway, my man, DJ Envy. What blow? You know about that?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We heard about that on holiday.
That's one for you. That couldn't slip through the flipping string vest, did it?
Hang on, what was
Something
that?
slipped into him.
Oh, what was he? Infidelity or something?
Nah, okay. So
Oh no, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go on DJ Envy. Let's touch on this because I think when we big up Cheryl Blue because I'm sure that we discussed this on the thing when we was on Extra Biscuits, or maybe it was before the podcast started. I can't remember, but DJ Envy has allegedly, because I'm not even sure if they're real or whatever, has been having back and forth with a certain lady that's not his wife, discussing.
Is he married?
Yeah, he's married.
God damn.
In fact, him and his wife have got a podcast discussing anal play, and not with him on her, but her on him.
No, this is not the wife and the husband
Yeah,
podcast.
you said that
This
like
was-
that, like they discussed that on the podcast.
No, sorry, this was what happened with DJ. So the lady must have been sending messages talking about how she's gonna stick a
A
dildo
12-inch dildo up his ass.
and he said, "Ooh, that's vicious."
He didn't dismiss it.
He didn't say no. He just said, "Ooh, that's vicious." I don't know, but some mans might like that.
I think there's enough men that like that.
Do you
But-
think
but-
that? Do you think that? Okay, in the crew, all the mandem, yeah. How many in the mandem crew, in our crew, do you think has dabbled in anal play on from the woman to the male?
None.
None.
Nah, at least 2.
I'm sure Stavros, one of Stavros' personalities is
He might be one of Stavros' personalities for real.
Cuthbert. Thomas sounds like he does. Thomas sounds like he was on that shit.
Cuthbert and Thomas, boy.
That's what the 3 hours on the toilet is for.
Is that why you spent 3 hours down there,
The wolf actually looked like he was like, like it was a
Like, yeah. Eight
Listen.
points to beat.
That's right.
2 + 2 = 4.
Quick maths.
Nah. No, because the way that it was going on is like
50 minus 30.
when you see these things pop up, a lot of the time the women
Has it got-
come out of the woodwork and they're like, "You don't know how many men are on this thing. Don't know why you." And they're always the first one to scream out. Don't know why when you're doing anal play with a man, woman to a man, all the men think it's gay. They're always the first to come out with that one. It's not gay. It's just sex. Blah blah blah.
Who says that? Women.
Women. A lot of the
Okay,
time.
yeah.
And then they will start telling you that there is enough man that you don't know that is doing all of this stuff. I can't see women keeping this secret if it was the truth, because you know when they cause some drama, I think they'll bring it out. But they say it quite often.
Do you think it's gay then? Because
I don't think it's gay.
first of all, I don't. Whether he likes that or
The
not.
way you're swinging that finger around is not.
First of all, whether he does it or not, I don't really care. That text message is not an admission of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not an
it's
admission of guilt. It's just
Because
vicious.
if I was single, I could say the same thing myself, and if she tried it, then I would take it and lick it on her head. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
You just say you would take it though, you know.
I would take it and lick it on her head.
Take the thing that she has
Yeah.
and bash it on her head.
Okay.
All right. Bash it on her head.
2 plus 2.
No.
Quick maths.
Quick maps. So, but okay, do you think an insertion means the man has gay tendencies? In the least, has gay tendencies.
Nah, I'm not saying that it's definitely gay tendencies. I'm reckon that man is just freaky. I think man could do a lot of things that maybe they didn't potentially know they could do if they took it there and it gave them pleasures.
Boy.
I'm leaving simple,
You know-
simple to last. The Rasta will have something to say.
You know, there's some men that go as far to think that going down on a woman is such a bad and
Them man are eating
evil
pussy,
thing.
man.
No, but
Like
no, but
sandwich.
look, there are some men that don't. Some of those men that don't do it see it as overstepping the mark in the sexual arena. You get me? Let alone sticking fingers and a flipping 12-inch dildo up an arse, bruv. That,
But we're talking about, is that gay?
I think there's some gay tendencies there. Yes.
Okay. Simple?
I don't know if it's gay. I would say it's
Tendencies.
It's disgusting though.
It's disgusting.
There's nothing wrong with doing disgusting stuff, but I found it disgusting.
There's nothing.
This guy always kind of saves himself at the end there.
There isn't anything wrong with doing disgusting stuff. Like
We
but
all
I just-
do discuss this
Yeah,
stuff.
I just-
to
But
someone.
isn't something that's
Do you know what it
disgusting
is? For
by
me-
definition wrong?
For me, I think it's because it's
disgusting for
because
you,
I've
but
got,
for
I've
them
got a aversion to fecal matter. That's what it is. So I really don't like it. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not passing judgment to say that if somebody else finds that they can get past that, that's all right, or it's not all right.
There's
You know
people
what I
that
mean?
will say kissing with tongue is disgusting.
Yeah, I actually know somebody who has a problem with that.
A man or woman?
It's a woman.
So it all
So you
depends
don't
on
like
your
kissing with tongues.
Yeah, she doesn't. I know somebody.
I know it.
It's deep.
I'm going to say, I just want to put my point across because people say that it's
Weird,
gay.
innit?
It's gay.
Not necessarily. It's just a bit
Strange.
It's a bit left.
If you're requesting it, I'm looking at you. I'm not saying you're gay, but I'm like, why is that the request you want?
Because
If somebody just did it to you and then suddenly you liked it,
yeah.
then after I suppose you asked requested it, that's different. But if you're requesting it before it's happened,
Well, someone just did it. Just
No,
get
'cause
a
you-
12-inch.
no, I'm not talking about 12 inch. Let's just talk about
My God.
like she's put a finger in you or something
like a knuckle.
or whatever. Yeah,
This guy. You see Thomas, you know, Thomas.
Knuckle.
yeah.
You see Thomas right here. You
just
know.
No, but
creeped
no,
out.
if somebody done that to the man, yeah, and then the man liked it, and then he's like, do it again, yeah. That fair enough, right? Not my thing, but fair enough. You somebody did it to you on the sly. You did, but when you're coming fresh out of the you had sex the first time. You're just basically just a virgin. You've had sex once. Then the next day you come put in my ass. I'm gonna be looking at you like, fam.
Like, the sex was good, but there's something missing. You need to may ask. No, not about that.
But yeah, I would look at you like, why is that the thing that you're asking for? After we only had sex a couple of times, suddenly that's what you're going straight for. What made you see that? But then again, porn is making people do a lot of things that they potentially wouldn't have done in the 70s.
Some
and the
some
80s.
people.
I don't know if it's gay.
You
but
keep blaming
it's-
everything for porn, man.
But it's just where people are seeing things that they want to see before.
I don't know if it's gay, but it's
I just don't like the idea that it's gay because I always hear people say if any man allows something in them areas there, it's gay. And I always think, why? Because gay is wanting another man to do something to you.
Yeah.
What has that got to do with being gay? You can call it freaky, like your man said. You can call it disgusting. You can call it strange, like what you just said. Why would you want something to do? Why would you do that? What made you think that area was going to be pleasurable if it never got touched? All of this makes sense.
Is
But
it-
what has gay got to do with anything? Because gay guys give each other head. So is when a woman giving you head, is that gay?
It's gay.
He just put it out there, boy. And you know when people just
No,
start
because
going,
it's always annoying. It's gay. It's gay. It's just you call it wrong all you want. Yeah, say I don't like it. All of that stuff. It's no logic in saying that it's gay because a gay man wants a man.
yeah, but I think it's different when you're asking the woman to put her penis on and
Yeah, that's the bit that kind of makes it gay.
smash her in your back door.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's why I kind of
I'm living-
alluded to the fact that it's kind of gay tendencies because it wasn't just a dildo; it was a strap-on.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a bit different.
And
so she
yeah.
can actually thrust and
yeah,
See, this is what I'm
thrust
saying.
Imagine you said,
He said thrust.
That's what I'm saying.
And that
I
changed
would-
the
I would-
whole
I would-
thing in
I
my
would-
brain.
I would-
Told you. My brain went.
I would just put a strap on and a click suit or something.
DJ Andrew,
What?
bro.
A strap on and a click suit.
Suit. What the?
Click suit, you know.
Big up the people that know what the click suit is.
What's wrong with
I
that?
used to
That's
go
what make
to
you look
Walthamstow
manly, innit?
Market and buy a click suit.
Make them look manly, innit?
Oh my days.
All stars on Main Street.
I had a click suit and I wanted more.
I
only had the
I
one.
had a click
Kaka
suit.
anyway.
There was a click suit and there was the other one. What was the other one?
Denim suits were.
What's the
Double denim
is
back in the
desert
day.
boots? You were? Is it desert shoes or what's the
Desert
what's the
boots,
shoe?
desert
Desert
boots.
boots. The
Clark.
Clark desert boots.
The youths don't know what the click suits are.
Yeah.
And Mr. Wolfer's got his slip-ons, right? These what are
Sliders.
sliders, yeah. So they call it sliders now.
Sleep on
And
it.
and
When
see,
I was
I don't even know what they call them now. You get me?
when I was a
Sliders.
whippersnapper,
That's what I'm
They
saying.
had slippers.
they call it slippers.
Thank you. And I come in here, and what did you say to me?
I said, why are you behaving like them youth there?
That's what I'm saying. And I said, hold on, fam. Hold on. Before these youths were even wearing these things, I was wearing this.
Yeah, but I
get
forgot
me?
you was a full uncle.
No, but I don't need to be an uncle. The point being is that let me tell you when people started to really use these things, yeah? Obviously, I think they're for swimming, to be frank. They're swimming slippers. So when you go to swimming pool, these are the type of slippers that you use. But footballers, to relieve their feet after
footballers
they've
have been doing it
played,
from day.
from day one, they will use this because they're coming out of the shower and they use it because their toes and their feet are quite, they need freeness. You get me? And now, you're seeing all these youths, girls walking street,
If I was single and
me,
there was a girl,
that's
that
what I'm
was
saying.
like that,
And me I can't wear these the way that I was wearing them before without people looking at me thinking that I'm
bruv,
some fool.
Do you know I've had to stop myself from doing it because I used to do it when I was younger too.
Long time.
But it wasn't a fashionable thing, in vogue thing. This is what you did when it was summertime and you like.
No one wants to see your foot.
Let me see. Let me ask you a question.
Climate.
We did
So-
this just outside the house, innit? We didn't go down like forever and ever and ever. Sometimes you might jump in the car, do something, whatever. But you might even check your bedroom. But it wasn't like I'm going shopping. I'm going down Oxford Street in my sliders. Nah.
Uncles have been doing
in the manner you would do.
Uncles have been doing sliders and jeans
Back home.
for years.
Yes.
Cab drivers blatantly wearing sliders and jeans. One, because their foot seems to be monstrously big. I don't understand why African foot is so big. I don't understand why it's so wide as well. But they always used to wear their slippers and jeans. And people used to cuss them about it all the time. That's why they used to always call African dry. How did they know that African people's foot was dry all the time? Maybe they used to say African people's dry foot, your African dry foot. Because uncles always used to be wearing sliders.
Well, they were wearing sandals. They're leather sandals.
Sandals,
Yeah.
but they weren't like the original sliders, weren't they? They looked like sliders. Yeah, the ones that had the strap on. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
some of them,
yeah,
some of
yeah.
them, some of
they
them, some
did.
of them.
And somebody was wearing these. Some of them were wearing so yeah, they were the ones that was wearing the slippers or whatever, and they were doing that fashion. It's not only now because they got like Adidas or whatever, making it looking up fashionable, and they wear the same things that the uncles were wearing.
Even bloody what's her name? Rihanna again. She's got her own ones now.
The Envy, what Fenty
They
ones.
still Fenty, yes.
Yeah, boy. My mum had a Fenty bag the other day. I was like, where did you get this from? She goes, I got it from because my mum works in like a charity thing, and she asked somebody for a bag for something. And they gave her a Fenty bag. I was like, what are you doing with Fenty bag? She goes, what's his Fenty? I explained it to her. She goes,
What of your own?
She goes,
Well, what was you going to ask?
Mommy
Simple.
is doing fashion.
Wasn't ask. If you're doing sex with a woman and you're doing leg on shoulder,
He took it all the way back there.
and she's wearing sliders, is it a go or is it a no?
You should take it off and smack a nipple with it.
Why?
Use it as BDSM.
Oh my days! Sliders is the BDSM. Yeah.
Yeah, why not, man?
BDSM.
For me now, sliders is a turn. Back in the day,
But
if a girl was gangster enough to do something like that, it turned me on. But now it turns me off because you're just following fashion.
If you're an auntie doing it, then you come on.
Did
This
you
guy
say
like the cougar. Guy like the
Some
cougar.
jollof rice.
Who asked a question about cougars?
What do you mean?
I swear with you.
What's that?
About cougars.
Yeah, he did on,
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
on
yeah.
Facebook. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
I don't know why you're offering cougar discussions anyway.
Nah, I'm involved.
Some of that.
Yeah, but a cougar from 30 to 23 you mentioned, innit?
No, she's 38 and
He's 25.
25.
Is that
yeah.
considered cougarism?
That's not cougar, you know.
In that 13 years?
That's not, but they're both of them is youngsters.
How old do you have to be a cougar?
That's what I'm saying.
That's not cougarism.
If a 44-year-old is going out, is a 44-year-old a cougar? 45?
Who's you
And
going out with?
it depends the age of the
What's the difference? Okay, what's the difference between a MILF and a cougar? Because and GILF. There's MILF, GILF, cougar.
A MILF is a mother. She's had a child already.
Yeah.
A GILF is a grandmother.
Oh my
And a
god!
cougar
I
is a
didn't
what?
know
And a
that one,
cougar-
man.
I didn't even know this
I
gilf.
didn't know the gilf.
And a
I know gif. I don't know gilf.
And then there's a DILF as well, which is dad. But the cougar is now...
Just call me Dilf.
Yeah, how old do you have to be a cougar though?
The cougar is like when Stella got her groove back. So I
Well,
reckon
how
you have to be like bridging
15.
40.
Okay, so we're
Bridging
saying,
40.
let's say Angela Bassett's a cougar, yeah?
15
Yes,
year
but she's
difference
like
though.
60
She's
though.
married though. So
But
there's
she's
No,
like
but it has
60
to be a good age gap.
so we're saying over 40.
It's got
I
nothing
would
to
say
do with the
four-
age.
No, what do you mean it's nothing to do with the age?
No, it's got nothing to do with the 40.
It has to be with
It
an
has
older
to
woman.
be a certain
with,
gap.
with a younger man.
I think it's both. There has to be a gap, and you have to reach a certain. I don't think a woman under 40 can be a cougar. You cannot be 38 and be a cougar. You can be 48 and be a cougar, and be a 20-year gap.
But what if the mans that you're dealing with as that woman are 13 years younger than you?
If a woman is 38 and the boy she's dealing with is 18, she's still not cougar. If she's
Wow.
42 and that boy is 22, then she's a cougar now because she's over 40.
Wow. So okay, so 40 is the benchmark.
I
yeah?
think once you, man,
If
at least 40.
If the woman growled at you, would you be on it?
What do you mean growled?
Marcus, darling. I don't know, man.
Big up Eartha Kit.
Yeah, I don't know about DMX business.
What did you say at the ball, lady?
Yeah, woof.
Oh man.
Anyway, how about these people them that ask us questions and want us to
Answer them. Yeah, let's answer their questions.
them?
All right.
So we're going in.
Okay, we had some questions left over from last week, and I'm going to jump into them now. So, once we were talking about sex and relationships and stuff, so this is following on from that vein. Is romance dead? Are men still being called moist or whipped by peers for wanting to do something outrageously romantic for their spouse? And there's a second question, I'll just tag it on now rather than asking later. When was the last time any of you done something really romantic for your lady or a lady?
I'm going home.
Would you be mocked by your mates if you told them?
Your mate.
Yes.
I'm going home.
So this line of questioning is sometimes I feel I just feel like this kind of question is not meant for us. It's not meant for people like us.
Why?
Because this is like, would you be mocked if you did something romantic?
Like, will mock you, man. I don't know why you got like you won't be mocked.
Who? If I did something romantic for my missus, which one of the crew's gonna mock me?
The meat.
No, they not.
Yeah, they would.
No, they not.
Yes, they would.
Do you think they would?
Yeah.
You? I don't think they would.
Of course, I've seen them mock you for things that's not even there when they that. What do you mean? They will mock you for nothing. You're them man are different though. You man are different.
Yeah, but that's not mocking.
You man are different. You don't go restaurant with knives and forks.
He said that really well.
It sounded exactly
It
like
sounded
him
just,
as well,
just
man.
like him. Just like him.
Probably.
And that's the type of thing he was saying. I love
Probably
the
the mead.
I love the mead. All right then. Okay, fair enough. Okay then. So, yeah, is romance dead? And when is the last time you did something romantic for somebody? Or do you do stuff romantic? Or do we call? All right, and fine. This thing about
I think the
being
level
called
of
moist and whipped,
I think the level of romance has changed.
it's gone, man.
I think romance to now is a very different thing from romance back in the day. Even from when our parents to us, from us to the ones below us, I think it's changed so, dramatically. Because back in the day, romance was stalking. That was romantic. To
It's
stalk.
true. Yeah, stalking was romantic back in the day.
Now you can't stalk anymore.
You're not allowed to stalk now.
Mr. Wolf is looking up and
Listen,
right.
listen.
Look, back in the day, a woman could tell you no, and
And
you're
you
supposed,
stalk-
you're,
yeah,
you're supposed to keep
You,
going.
you went to her workplace. You know, you. Some of them even would go straight to the source, go straight to the parents. Yeah.
And then after
especially the AFs.
and after you've campaigned,
Yeah.
that's when then she then says, okay.
And they'll break you down.
Exactly.
Have you not seen either?
Yeah, but that's
even
not
films?
romance.
That's what
They
they
never called that
Listen,
romance, bro.
If you meet a couple that's been married 40 years, they're in their 60s, and it's like, how did he meet? This dude hounded me. He came to my workplace. He came to my, he went, he knew where I was raving or where I went to the pub.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
They said he wooed me.
Yeah. Will these women who have said that this guy came and was persistent in trying to get me, will they consider that as romance?
Yes, most people use it.
Well, if they've been married 40 years, then yeah.
Persistence
No.
is romance.
Yeah, but it's not romance. It's just someone being persistent.
Nah,
innit?
that was used to be persistence. Used to be a part of romance. It used to be a part
I
of
don't
wooing.
know, man. I
Yeah,
don't know.
this man wants me so much that he won't leave me alone. And you find out, I still think now some women, like especially younger women, will find that quite, yeah, they might like it. Depending on the man, because remember, it always comes down to the man. Everything comes down to the man. If it's a man you don't like, it's abuse. If it's a man you do like, it's the first stage of something more. It's always about whether I like the man or not. So you could be there's times when a woman is in a relationship already. She's not happy with the man she's with, but she feels like she should be a faithful type person. And somebody that she likes more and wants to be with more is on her case. And she's not closing the door properly, but she's telling them no. She's not like opening the door for them fully, but the man is persistent until one day the man she's with actually goes too far, and she's like, listen, that is, what did they call it, the dick in the glass, innit? You've taken it too far, laters to you, and goes to the dude there, innit? And then all of a sudden now the door is straight open. If that dude wasn't being persistent, nothing would have happened.
Emergency.
Emergency penis. That's what emergency penis is basically. Man,
That's
on,
real,
man on
boy.
standby.
It's real, you know.
I think that just to answer the question,
The men have pussy in the glass. Men have pussy in the glass.
Some men, not me.
the men have who?
Pussy in the glass.
Yes.
Pussy in the glass.
Yes.
Vagina on standby
Oh, see.
in case the vagina at home messes up.
Do men have that?
Yeah.
Of course they do.
I don't know if they have it on like a standby. I think they just have it.
There's enough, man. Trust me.
I don't think they're breaking the glass for it. I don't think they're waiting for the woman to mess up to use it.
Not that they're waiting for them to mess up, but enough men, whether they like the attention or whatever it is, there's a woman that they know wants them, whether they've vocalized it or not. They know, and instead of telling this woman or keep it, because man like me, if I know a woman wants me on that level, I just can't talk to you, innit? Because it's like that's either it's temptation or I kind of see it as a disrespect to my woman.
Yep.
If I know you want me on that level and I'm still talking to you, then I'm kind of like entertaining the fact that you could want me, and so I just don't talk to you anymore. That's the dishes because I can deal
But
with.
you think every woman wants you though?
But it's up to a level like over 7 or 8. Like if everyone might want me up to about a 3 or 4, and that's standard. But if you want me over 7 or 8, that means basically that if I'm married, whatever, and if I came to you and I said I want to do something, you would say yes. That's the type of woman I'm talking about. And if I know I can try something with you and you'll say yes, then it's a disrespect for me to keep
You'd be
talking
surprised
to you.
about how many women would say yes though.
All right, but I'm saying if
Spite as well.
maybe, but if I think, like in my head, I'm quite sure you would say yes. Like you wouldn't slap me. You wouldn't say how dare you. You would say where.
Where?
Yeah. So
circle.
if I think, I can't talk to a woman like that. So yes, it happens, and I couldn't do that. Could you mans do that? Could you mans talk to a woman that if you told her, I'm going through some rough patches and I've liked you. Let's do a thing. Let me ease some chest.
You remind
Some
me
stress,
of
sorry,
a girl
on your chest.
that
I would like to say that
once knew.
I don't have anybody around me that's like that. Not that I know of. I know there might be people that like me that I can talk to, but I don't think there's anybody that would do that.
Fair enough.
And I would hope their character was not on that level.
Am I putting people on the spot?
No, but I do think we should answer the woman or the man's question.
Romance.
Yes. In
All right,
terms
and are you whipped if you're a romantic man?
No. I mean, the idea is to please your woman, innit? If some women don't like romance, some women
True.
ain't about that.
True.
But if you know that
Is
can
that really
push,
true?
yeah, there's some women that ain't about that, man.
Yeah.
If it comes, they'll accept
No,
it.
but romance. This is the thing. For some women, romance is a roses and whatever.
that's what I'm
To
saying.
other women, romance is a sly joke.
Exactly.
Man,
No,
say a sly choke.
yeah, it could
As
be
in
a
Say
joke.
sly or slight?
That's a sly one.
A sly one.
Slight
How
is
do you
better.
slyly choke somebody?
Why you
your hands to your neck slowly.
You know you want to go caress the neck like you got to caress them and then you just...
we're talking about during a sexual act.
I'm talking about just outside.
Just strangling women in the street, huh?
Yeah, but you might just go to stroke
I know
their neck
what he's talking
and
about.
just
It's
give her a
like
slide
that
and
is
give them a bit of thrill.
is a freaky move in public.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't see it as romantic.
So what you're saying, it depends on the woman.
Yeah, I
but-
think
but-
every woman likes romantic.
Yes.
Like there's Ghanaian women out there and putting kenke on their plate is romantic, whereas to the rest of the world that's like a abuse.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
So aside from what women's or what their definition of romance
Punishable
is,
by lashes.
I think that it all depends on the woman, and there are some women who do not like the idea of romance. There's some women who ain't about the attention. There's some women that just want to be in a relationship and cater for their man and do their thing. And
No,
just
I'm disagreeing with you. I'm actually agreeing with Wahala for once.
Bro.
That every woman's idea of romantic. No, because you have your industry standard or your community wide or let's say Western idea of romance. Roses, flowers, hot air balloons, trips to restaurants and stuff.
And
but
what I'm
but
saying,
there's something for every woman, whether they think it's romance or not, it's romantic.
Right,
So
let's-
just rubbing my feet when I get home.
okay,
That's romantic for some women,
right. Let's just go on the
especially
basis
the
of
big feet West African women.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying let's go on the basis of like flowers and rubbing feet and all that. I see those kind of things as a service, innit? You know, and some women ain't about that.
As a service.
As a service.
Yeah,
as a love language.
I am
it's-
Mr.
it's
Wolf,
like some-
serviceman Wolf.
Yeah. You know, we know that there's
Okay,
five
okay.
acts of service. I mean, there's five love languages.
Yes.
Yeah,
One
we
of them is
discussed that already.
acts of service.
Yes.
One of them is quality time and gifts.
Yes.
And there's some women who ain't about any of those three.
My women.
You understand? So
My women, okay.
Yes, I like to big up my wife and also my girlfriend.
you've all seen that
Yeah,
video.
my woman's not about gifts. She's not really that fast.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless it's a holiday.
But I don't. But if men are deciding to try to do something special for their woman, I don't see that as being moist or being less of a man. I think it's being more.
Men these days.
It depends, man.
This is why I said I don't think the question is about us.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
some
the
men
thing
are
is,
moist, bruv.
yeah, but it depends. It depends on the type of man. Are you talking about the road man? Are you talking about the professional man? Are you talking about the man that's a little bit
from South.
in between?
People from South.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
saying there is some moist man out there though still. There are some.
Moist
What is,
man,
yeah,
but
how?
what is
What's
a
a moist
moist
man?
Well, they got no strength to them, man. They're just like moist.
Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with romance.
That's got nothing to do
Okay,
with
fair
romance.
enough. But I just like to know that moist is out there, man. And women don't like moist men.
They do.
They don't, bro.
Which women like moist men?
They don't.
The dominant
man.
ones.
No, but then don't they get rid of them later?
They
No,
don't like
no.
moist men.
Or they
Some-
cheat on them?
Some
Yeah,
women,
with the
not
outfits.
necessarily. There's some women who are the ones that are wearing the trousers, who are the king of the house, and the man is the queen.
Oh
Simple.
my god. What? So he
Yeah,
bought-
but some relationships work on that dynamic.
so
you know.
the prince.
No, she straps up and
No, because the queen in their
There
their
you
household
go.
is the man,
DJ Envy.
and the other one's a woman, innit?
say what?
The queen in the Britain, the queen is the man, and the other one's a woman, innit?
Okay, I see what you're
Philip
saying.
is like a woman, and
I
the
see what you're
queen
saying.
is the man.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's public, display.
Do you think Philip is throwing it down?
At home, what they say, what's his name? Oprah's husband, the Queen's husband. You just need to have a strong personality and say,
Listen.
you do what you're doing in public. You make more money
I
than
know.
me. You're more popular than me. Whatever it is,
Listen,
especially
listen.
some of these celebrity women.
Fact-
But when you come home, I run things.
Forget about the famous guys. I know there are some guys in particular industries, and I don't personally know them, but I know of them. I know friends that have spoken about them. Some guys, especially in the constructive industry. My mate used to work in construction. Yeah, sounds very strange, isn't it?
Constructive industry.
Constructive.
Construction industry.
It's all
Sorry.
right. It's all right.
You guys are so pedantic sometimes.
Yeah, but at least you said pedantic, right? Kind of.
Go on.
Yeah, there's some guys that are in that industry, yeah, and well, my mate was working in there for about 5-6 years, and he said whenever they got their paycheck, they give it straight to the woman, and they go to work, give the money to the woman, and she basically runs the house.
Yeah, that's normal in Japan.
That's most men, though.
But that's not
Is it?
that's not abnormal.
That's
That's
a
like
that's a
most
cultural norm in Japan.
And
That's a cultural norm in America. It's a cultural norm in most places.
especially like that's a white thing, isn't it? Really, as well.
Yeah. Even blacks do the
but
same
to
thing.
the point,
I don't think as much. I don't
no,
think
no,
as
no.
much so, but
But
it's,
to the
it's an
point
English
where
thing.
to the point where they say whatever the missus says, whatever she wants, all I
Have
do
you not
is
heard happy
do what
wife,
she-
happy life?
I think Africans do that just as much. I think Africans go home, give their wife the money for food, blah blah blah, and they run the house. The men don't get involved in house shit.
Okay.
That's the house shit. Only time
I
that
don't-
men involve themselves in shit is when things are going down. Somebody needs either beating or some form of thing that involves man shit. All the man wants to do is come home, put his feet up, eat a food, watch football, occasionally talk to the wife and have sex.
You realise
Like the woman runs the things.
that's not like emasculating at all. You know that.
I don't think it is, but
So,
that's what
but you put
I
it up
don't
in
think
the,
it
you
is.
put it up when we're talking about moist.
Right. I don't think it is, but I'm saying that some people will consider that to be moist.
Nah, I really
So
does.
what are you saying is moist then?
Yeah, well, because
I say the moist man, the one that do everything.
Yeah, and what I'm saying
and they want to
is-
go and put next man under the bus to do their moistness as well.
Yeah, but what and,
next,
and,
what are you talking about?
and what I'm saying,
I'm doing this for you. Look at me. I don't like the man.
I don't know what I don't know what that is, but it's a feeling that he
Oh,
tries to
it's
what I'm
actually
saying.
it was such a poor description. It's like in his heart, he knows what he means.
I know
But
what I
he
mean,
can't.
like-
He can't put it out there.
I hate them man there, man. They put the man under the bus to try and get their own point across. Other man.
Yeah, it definitely.
Oh, so, they don't have no man code.
Nah. Yeah, them man, moist man there, man. And they try to put other man under the bus to put themselves ahead. And all they know how to do is buy things as well. Those ones there. They don't have no backbone. Like,
Yeah, but
if a woman's doing something that's wrong, instead of them to tell them the woman is wrong, they just.
Yeah, men that can only get women with like money and or for
Now
like,
listen.
These are the
What's
clothes I
this
got.
new
This
thing?
is-
What's
listen,
this new
listen,
thing
the
they
car
call- they call
I've
it
got.
sauce in it now. They call it sauce. This is the thing I keep
sauce?
hearing. People keep saying about everyone's got this sauce thing. That's what they call it now.
What's
when you
that?
got a bit of panache, they call it sauce now, innit?
I love that word, you know.
What, panache.
Panache.
Exactly. That's the correct word.
Let me say my piece.
Oh, sorry, old man.
God.
Sorry. About that.
What I'm saying is that there are some guys. There are some guys who do not wear the trousers in the house. I don't know how you want to define that.
So tell us
whether
how
it's
you do that.
her
Wolf. Tell us how
giving-
you do that.
Sorry,
Tell us how you do that. Wolf.
tell us how.
And then
I
we
do
have to
it.
go back to the romantic thing that the woman
What
that
are you
they
talking
asked us the
about?
first one.
I don't do that. But what I'm saying is that you have the king and the queen of the household, innit?
Alright.
We know the notion of a man wears the trousers, you know, and he's running the house and what have you. And I'm saying there are some households where that
Men
is
never
not the
run
case.
the house, bruv.
Or whatever the case. I'm just saying that there are some cases, however you want to put the analogy, that the man is the submissive part of the relationship. That's what I've been trying to say for the past 5 minutes.
You know
And in some dynamics, that works. So some people will look at that man and consider for him to be moist.
Can I say something? I think most
Most men are the submissive ones.
most men that are the what's the opposite of submissive again? The dominant one in the relationship crosses over into kind of like abuse. Most.
I think
I think that it's a very fine line from a man. Put it this way: you have this big gap where a woman can be the not head of the house, but kind of run the house. Yeah, and I think most people are in that area. Then you have this sliver of like alpha male, strong man, running the house or running the relationship kind of thing, and it's a sliver. It's a small little slit there. It's a 5% thing. Yeah,
I hear you.
and then you have this 15% on the end, where it's like the man is running the house, but it's almost abusive. Like he doesn't tell the woman what to do with any kind of respect, or he doesn't like garner any. It's more like the woman does it out of fear kind of thing. I think it's very few men that run their house, and they run it with respect. And adoration. I think most men that actually run in the house, like she does what I tell her to do. She does it like she's always cooking. You know, when I come home, this is done. You know, that it's not a thing where they're doing it because the woman respects them. It's that, well, I met this man when I was 17, 18. We got married, and this is what he expects from me. I'm too scared to leave him. Not he doesn't have to be hitting or nothing like that. It's just that this is just what I must do to keep my man happy.
I'm talking about in kind of my age group. I'm thinking that you're talking about our kind of mothers and grandmothers generation. In my age group, or in my kind of age dynamic,
Your peers.
my peers, I don't see it like that. The thing about this is it's got a lot of it has got to do with love, innit? How you love your partner. And when you are loving your partner and you then kind of strip a few layers of your armor and you leave yourself vulnerable, yes,
Yeah.
for the man or the woman to take advantage of that. And if you're in a relationship that makes sense, then that's not happening. And for you to say
What do you mean?
most,
What's not happening? You're
like,
not stripping.
no, what I'm saying that's not happening is when you were saying that it becomes abusive and things like that. No, mate, I'm not buying it.
I think that in a ratio,
Are you abusive?
I think that in a ratio,
No,
some,
but
some people could see him as abusive.
Are you abusive to?
I don't think
to
he is.
your woman?
I don't think he is. But
Well,
then
then some people see me how
some people can see it as abusive
How?
because
What?
if they don't understand the dynamic
Yeah,
of your
what?
relationship, like the way you talk to your wife, some people might not like. If they don't understand that that's the way that you discuss things with them.
like what? Then give me an example.
Like there's times when you tell your wife to do something, you don't ask her, you
Such
tell
a-
her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell. I don't want to bring out your thing, but there's times when I've heard you tell your wife this. Don't do this. Don't do, like you're talking to somebody that. But some people, if they're not privy to the way that your conversations go down, might not see that as a what's it called, a fair level thing. They might see it as abusive. So that's what I'm saying. From the outside in, you don't know. I think
I don't care.
You see, that's what I'm saying. But in general,
and so you shouldn't.
but in general, I think that it's more of a case of in the relationships where Stav's talking about maybe in the middle or whatever. I think 80% of the time the men are submissive, and 20% of the time when things maybe at a level where it's a very important decision or something like that, that's when they become dominant.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying 80%, 5%, 15%. 80% is a woman running the house, but it's not that. There's many different variants of that, but it's not that the man is I do as I'm told.
It's
It's just that
they
like
know better.
What you just said about the man getting a paycheck and giving it to the woman, that is a common
Let me
thing.
tell you
That's-
something.
That's standard
Let me tell you
practice.
something about a leader.
Maybe
yeah?
a bad example.
Let me tell you
but I was
something
talking
as a
about
good leader. Yeah,
submissive
a
parts.
good leader knows when to allow somebody that's better than them to do a job. Right.
And
That is
that's good management.
that is the way of a good leader. Yeah. And there's men that know they can't run the house. They don't know how to run money correctly. They don't know what needs to do on a day-to-day basis for that house to run correctly. They don't know how to handle certain things, and their wife does. So if you're meant to be the leader of the household, the best decision for you to make is to let the lady run the house. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not suggesting.
No, I'm
there's
not saying
anything
there is. Don't take things personally,
wrong.
old
I'm just
man.
saying.
But I'm saying to you, this is the way that some things that people.
He said, "Don't take things personally." Then called you an old man.
Oh, God. Don't worry, he's,
But then,
he's gonna get there soon, mate.
Well, he's true, he's coming, boy. But then, you know what I mean? So people sometimes see that and they think, oh, you know, what type of blah 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 situation his house is. But if you're a leader, you let the person that does the best job do that job correctly. And at times, women are better at handling these tasks than men. There are men that are better at women at this, and I think at those times you see that the woman will maybe go to work and do certain things, and the man will run the house.
Okay.
Simple Simon. Is romance
Yeah,
dead?
yeah.
Is romance dead?
Yes.
Speak on it.
And are you moist for being romantic?
Oh well, you know, it was said because I should really underline it. Outrageously for wanting to do something outrageously romantic for their spouse.
Outrageously so. Flowers and maybe a little tap on the neck in terms of your thumb and your index finger.
Is that romantic?
Is that outrageous?
That is not outrageously
That's
romantic.
what I just said.
He's
So
got
when it
arthritis
comes
though,
to outrageously romantic, those examples that we used are not based on the question. So we should think about something that is more outrageously romantic.
Yeah, here's a good question. Can all of you think of something that is outrageously romantic off the top of your head right now?
Yeah, something.
Okay, let's say something like
Okay.
outrageously romantic. Okay, your first meeting of the girl, taking her to a foreign land where they have flowers on the beach,
Flower
candles lighting, blah blah blah, for having a 1 hour date with them and then taking them back. That's ridiculously romantic for me. For somebody you don't know.
But some people, a
Considering-
lot of people would call that moist.
Considering a relationship that we're in rather than someone that we barely know, I would say something outrageously romantic.
But you can't
would
do
be-
something for somebody that you know. For somebody that you've
Of
known all
course you
for
can.
years. What's outrageously romantic
Of
for somebody
course you
that's your actual partner?
Okay, off the top of my head, you could just go out on a date, have a plane flyby with saying, so and so, I love you. Why have you done that? Just because.
Nah.
That's outrageous.
No, it's not just because. Because if you're with that person, you've been with them for a long period of time, you're doing it because they've proved themselves over that long period of time that they deserve that.
Well,
thing.
hello.
That's romantic.
Well,
What's
hello.
wrong with you?
Your idea of outrageously romantic obviously is different than maybe somebody else's. So when you're saying if I'm with somebody for a period of time, or we're married or we've been together X amount of years, I can't do anything outrageously romantic for you anymore, then that's obviously what you think. But I would disagree with that. I think somebody else's idea of outrageously romantic
what's yours?
doesn't really matter. If I know the person that sent this question in, and we were talking about it beforehand, and I believe this is why the question was sent. They hadn't listened to the podcast at the time, and I think they listened to the podcast and they said, let me ask it on the podcast, and I said that I've done some romantic things, but it was but it was generic stuff. Yeah, it was like taking my woman to Paris, but as a surprise. So I've done that. Just packed her bags, took her passport, and then just took her, and she didn't know until it was on Eurostar. But that's like that's romantic. But that's generic though, isn't it? Like that's stuff that everybody's heard of, or know somebody that's done something like that.
So being outrageously romantic, does that mean it has to be uncommon?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So a plane flying by saying "I love you" to your woman just because it's something common.
They do that to tell Vinga out.
I think it needs to be a bit bespoke, at least. Yeah, it needs to be a So they gave me some examples of what their partner had done for them, and I said, I gave the thumbs up to that dude. Thumbs up. I said, wicked. Even to the point I'm gonna steal them. And my woman listened to this podcast, and I'm even admitting I'm gonna steal it. So I'm not even gonna say what they are because they were that good. But it was bespoke to the woman I was talking to, and it didn't cost a lot of money. But it took effort and a little bit of effort. Yeah, not brain effort, not like physical effort. It took. The person had to think about it, or maybe they went to the net and found it. Who knows? I don't know. But they had to think about what they're doing. It was applicable to their partner, and that was outrageously romantic for them.
Yeah, and I think that when you are considering what to do for your woman, partner, whatever, your guy, ladies that are listening, you got to tap into the things that you know that they like. What is it that you know that they like, and then go above and beyond that? You get me?
I don't think you even have to go above and beyond.
And it doesn't have to cost a penny. And like what Stavros said, it is bespoke to each individual person.
That is the thing that makes it romantic. The fact that, especially with women, if you can show a woman that you're actually paying attention to what they're saying to you as men, especially because they don't think you're listening a lot of the time, that for them is romantic.
Which is why it's deep when you rehash romantic experiences.
Simple, Simon.
Yeah, simple.
Why you keep asking them what's for?
Because you haven't spoken, man.
This man sat here silently, boy. That's his idea of romance. Just shut up. Shut up in the corner and shut up.
I'm not romantic. Well, I am.
In our art.
Joker.
What was the last thing you did that you would consider romance? I know you're a bushman, so it's something probably like you probably cooked.
I bought her brand new wallabies.
Probably cooked or something.
And they were like blue and cream.
I came in the house and greeted her correctly.
You joker.
Bathing his woman with his dreads.
Why was that
bathing?
Yeah, just kind of rubbing and scrubbing her.
Yeah, his hair is like a Brillo pad.
Nah, you're not fully taking the mic. Fully taking the mic.
Brillo braids.
Listen to this guy. Trying to multi-purpose the thing.
Any whole tip behavior, man.
You joker.
I washed her with my dreads.
Yeah. Get out.
There was incense and candles.
That's nice.
Capleton played in the background.
I don't like any of you.
And an audio tape of Tariq Nasheed in the background. Go ahead, bro.
What's that?
What's the romantic thing, man?
Well,
say a romantic thing that you find romantic.
Pick one of these things because you've been asked multiple questions now. You can either ask the questions that were sent to us, you can ask a specific question that Wahala asked you, or you can talk generally like Mr. Wolf has been asking you to join in, or you can just sit there and just with your beige self stay out the conversation.
With my beige self. Bare abuse to me today. I don't know about this romantic thing. But for me, I don't know. I'm not really romantically. My idea of romanticism is very practical. For example, since I've been with my woman, the light has never gone out. There's always been hot water. Yeah, the rent has been paid. There's always internets. These are the what I'm
but you know things that people don't take into acknowledge.
Very practical like that, bro.
Yeah,
that
is my romance, or is that just life?
I care. That's why that stuff stays on.
There's things that I would say is romantic now. This is what sometimes I have to look at my woman as we look at her and say, you're turning 2017 and forgetting of the old age after that we are. Like there's times when I'll help my woman grease her hair. Like she got dreadlocks, she got really long locks, and it's hard for her to grease her hair and stuff like that, or put oil in. That's it. Sorry, not grease. Oil in her hair and give her like head massages. So I'll do it. She says to me, "Can you help me to oil?" And I'll sit there. She'll sit on my lap and I'll oil her hair
Acts
for her.
of
Yeah?
service.
All right. But then sometimes I just have to make sure I point to her about that you never hear my dad ever telling that he greased my mom's or did my. Let's know this is 2017 behavior because it didn't happen back in the past. So stuff like that, I would say yes. That's more of a even like sometimes I help her take her hair out. Like the other day was at that thing. I helped her take out. She had it in plaits. I helped her take it out. Stuff like that. I would say it's new age romance for us young men, maybe because we're not built for that type of behavior. It's not something we do.
See, now I wouldn't consider that romantic.
I would because while as a man don't do them things.
Man don't do them things. Man don't do them things.
Are you going around doing that?
2 + 2.
Yeah, my wife I have to take out her hair when I get home today or tomorrow.
You will take out my hair.
Yeah, because she was, because she had stuff in her hair before we went on holiday. I said, "Why don't you just take it off? You've had it in for much." Like, no, I can't bother that. Just keep it. It's easier. Well, I said, all right, I'll help you take it out if you want, because she said it's gonna take too long.
Oh,
you
you offered to her.
I offered, and she said when we come back from holiday, then we'll do it
That's
together.
romantic though. People don't see the.
I don't see that as romantic, man.
It is,
No, I don't think it's romantic.
Hey,
but
do you want me to help you take your hair out when you get back?
Yeah.
Moisture.
Yeah, I think. But,
Hey,
but I
Cherie,
think,
you want some help?
yeah, I don't think it's romantic, but I think women love the idea of that happening. You get me? And I think they're two different
My
things.
woman's too bush to love all that stuff, man.
Nah, maybe you spoil your woman.
I have told my woman that, but this is me, innit? I spoil every woman I'm with.
Yes,
Because the idea of women, but the idea of women
He has
hearing
to.
that,
What, to make up for it?
yeah,
would
for
say-
most of the other stuff that he does.
Yeah. Fair enough. But the idea of some women maybe on a podcast hearing that, or if I was to go to work and speak to some women and say, if your man did this for you, some of the things that you've mentioned, how would you take it? Bro, they would love it.
Yeah, but all right. And what I see myself
and your
as,
missus might just see it as normal.
because she's been with me for 6-7 years now, so it is
After a
normal.
while, it becomes a normal
yeah.
thing.
The thing is,
But I like to remind her that.
yeah, this is what Wahala said. I don't agree with the example he gave, or when he did it, because I thought that was a minor thing. But I agree with what he's saying, and this is the same thing for women and men. You never let your partner become complacent, and if you see them going down that road, you have to whoa, put up the barrier and say, listen, this is not something you would get necessarily everywhere else.
Some people call that training.
It sounds like an infomercial.
The term is to train your wife, yeah, to train your husband,
And
train
to
your
train
wife,
your husband
yeah.
and wife.
And I feel that because I tell my missus all the time, if you feel I'm getting complacent with anything, let me know. Yeah, don't ever let it get to the point, because there's always a point of no return that's in a relationship, and I don't want it to get to that point, because there's times where I might not realize something. Maybe because since the beginning she's cooked, and I ain't cooked basically a lot. I can count on my hands and feet the amount of times we cooked in many years of being together.
Bastard.
She wants to do the cooking. Even when I offer to do the cooking, she's like, "No, leave it for me. You don't cook as much as well as I do." And blah 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 blah. So
good woman. Man.
yeah,
Nah,
so
you can't cook, bro.
no, I can cook. I just
doesn't
can't cook
matter.
as well as she can, because she's a wicked cook. So and that is one of her love things. She enjoys cooking for me. Even if I'm not hungry, she wants to cook for me. So it's like it doesn't really. So I tell her it doesn't really have anything to do with me. I've told her it's
So she's a feeder.
the cook. Yes,
Man sounds like he was just gonna burst on the mic.
no, she's a feeder, and it's got nothing to do with who she's feeding. It's
I'll have what he's having.
It wouldn't matter which man she's with. She wants to feed her man, and I just happen to be the lucky man that's there that she's feeding.
And who don't care about food.
Oh, that's the thing, exactly. I know. But after this holiday, I cared about food, because that
The
part
food was rubbish.
Oh man,
Damn.
we'll get to that anyways.
Any more questions?
Well, just let me keep talking. I forgot what I was saying now.
Oh,
It's-
sorry. You're talking about your woman and her food and her.
No, it was about basically don't let people get complacent. You always have to let them know that you should appreciate what I'm doing for you. If you feel you're a good partner, a good man, or a good woman, and you're doing things and they're not taking your service for for what it is, for what it's
We're
worth,
taking it for granted.
then you have to let them know, listen, don't take this for granted, because Joe Bloggs down the road is not doing this for you, or Miss Trina is not doing this for you. Yeah, so just remember, the only thing is they could say, all right, then leave.
Yeah.
You have to be ready to deal with that as well. So don't be throwing out empty threats.
Bye.
and don't push it too far.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, you can remind somebody that, listen, I'm doing you a good, it's not even a good turn because this is what I'm meant to do. But not many men or not many women out there are doing what they're meant to do. Just realize you got a good one and kind of leave it at that. Don't push it to the point where it's kind of like an argument or it's a beef. Because you might push that person to say, fine, and I'll find somebody else to do it as well.
We sound like some whack men, We still haven't, all of us, said anything that we done as romantic.
I gave you an example. I said it's a bit generic. I told you about the Paris thing.
I'll take my missus on holiday standard, mate. That's like a thing, though.
The conversation I had with this person that sent the question in made me realize that all right, and I'm going to be real here. I feel I was more romantic when I was younger, before my missus. I think that I used up most of my romantic energy before we got together and in the very early stages of our relationship.
So what you're saying is that life is like a computer game, and the energy bar that was for romance.
Yeah, it's been. But the thing is, for better or for worse, my woman's idea of romance is not your atypical thing. So the type of things, because I've cooked for her, I've laid out. She's come home from. Okay, for instance, there was a table she wanted for the house before I moved in with her, and she didn't. And I didn't know what table it was, but I know she wanted a table. So one Valentine's Day, I just got her the table, and I put petals all over it. I made dinner. There was a heart. All this, whatever, yada yada yada.
Big star.
Love language number 3 of that's gifts.
She didn't care about the food. She didn't care about the petals. She didn't care about
the table.
It's just you got me the table. And this was because I didn't know what table it was. She said, "This is the exact table I've been looking at." That's what she cared about. Table. I bought her a table and said, "Yeah, you got me a table." It's like, "But I cooked for you, babe. But, I put
So
petals
really,
and all
bro.
this stuff." And I didn't. She didn't care.
She don't care about that.
Yeah. So my woman. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, my woman is bush. A table is more romantic to her because it was like we said, it's a bespoke thing.
Yeah,
this is something that I wanted. You heard me and you went and got it.
My missus she says stuff like sometimes like, "Why didn't you send flowers to work?" And I said, "I wouldn't do that.
I've done that.
I think it's whack."
Yeah, but if that's what she wants, how could it be whack, bro?
You know what? You know why I think it's whack? The flowers at work.
So hold on, because I've done it 2 or 3 times for my missus. It's whack.
Good for you. It's whack, man. Wow. Now let me tell you why I think the flowers at work is whack.
Man, just stopped my movement.
Let me tell you why I think the flowers at work is whack, and it should be even more whack for you than anyone else.
Just slash me down.
Because you're the type of person that don't like this. The flowers at work is not for your missus.
Yeah.
The flowers at work is for everyone else.
Yeah.
So why am I have to give you the flowers at work?
Yeah.
If I give you flowers at home, it should be just as powerful or even more powerful than the flowers at work.
It's not.
But you're doing it for other people.
Exactly.
And that is why I think it's whack. So I don't like that gift.
I get what you're saying.
I don't like it.
And for that exact reason, that's why I did it. I don't want anyone to argue with Wahala. It's not for the woman.
I know.
It is blatantly
I'm not debating
for
that.
sure.
I'm not debating that.
But if that's what she likes,
So
that's what she likes.
yeah, but
isn't it?
I know, but
sometimes you do what the woman
but
likes.
I can't then do stuff like that and then complain later when I say, "Why are you doing things for other people?" I don't like that.
No, but that's something for
I'm
you.
lost
He's
now.
talking about surprise party. That's got nothing to do with it.
I wasn't
man.
talking about surprise party at all.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about in general. Like if somebody, she might say, let's say that we're having something, and she'll be like, "Oh, I don't want other people to see that." Or I don't want anybody to know, or anything that's got anything to do with outside of people in a relationship, and then looking at our relationship.
but there's certain
I don't
things
want
that
you
she
to.
likes,
No,
innit?
That's a nonsense.
Nah, for me, I'm like, I think that's
You're all on or all off.
Yeah, I'm not aiding and abetting that situation.
You don't have to send the flowers to it. You can just send a card that says, "When I see you later, hashtag pum pum mash up."
You know what? There was one time.
But have you never got her flowers just regularly at home?
Yeah, I've got a flowers at home, but what's that got to do with work?
No,
but
but if she's saying send it to me at work, it shouldn't be a problem either.
no, she's telling you to do it. That's even more whack. But
Yeah, but does that mean that you're whack for not doing it in the first place?
no. But there was one time
Before she
that
asked.
there was a lady that I know that I know that she probably would. I don't think it's a romantic thing to do. I think there's much better things for you to do. Even if you want to go and floss and like my missus can go to a thing and say, "Oh, what did you think? My man did this for me. Where did you get that from? My man got me this." But she can do that. She's got that to do. You understand? You understand, fam?
Look at him putting his chest in the air.
I understand, fam.
It's tits in
I think Wahala's a bit
But-
confused because on one hand he's saying he's agreeing with me when he says that yes, romantic things is bespoke to the
Mr.
woman in
Romantic.
question. But then he's saying that I know what is bespoke for my woman. I know what she'd enjoy, but because I disagree with you, I ain't doing it.
No, but I'm not gonna do things that I disagree.
But you just said it's not romantic.
Yeah, but
it's romantic to her.
no, I'm saying there's certain things. I've said it's whack. I didn't say it's not romantic.
and that you won't do it.
I know. But I was one time that I saw somebody have it and it did not go the way it was supposed to go.
What, flowers at work?
Flowers came to the workplace. The girl got the flowers. She was looking around. Oh. People just carried on with their day like nothing had happened. and I thought, the man came to the workplace, you know.
Why?
Gave her the flowers.
Oh, he came and gave it to her.
And
Everybody ignored it.
Everybody carried on.
Schoolboy era.
Carried on like nothing had happened. Like I just thought she was looking, and she was looking round for reaction.
Yeah, but some women.
No
Yeah,
reaction.
but some women are not. I don't know. I don't
Bang,
think
da, da,
they're
dang.
looking for the reaction.
I have announced.
for
The flowers
people.
have arrived.
Sorry,
I don't know.
nah. If the
I've-
flowers are at work,
I've
they're
done-
looking for the reaction, bruv. There is no point
fair
of it
enough.
going to work.
Yeah, okay then.
I don't know.
Oh, well, there's one point. I was going to ask him, what other point of sending flowers to work is then to get a reaction from everyone else? And it could be that I know you don't like your job, and I know you do actually like flowers, and you like surprises. And this is just something to help you get through that rough day. at
Let
work.
me do this for you right now. That flowers at work is an important something. And the reason why it's an important something is because your wife's work husband or what have you needs to see that somebody cares about the woman. Needs to see that somebody cares about the woman. So he knows that those cups of coffee or tea or whatever that he's making for her and all the stuff that he's running around, he knows that it's coming to nothing because somebody actually cares about her.
Hey, Charlene,
It's important.
you want a cup of tea?
Can I
Hey, Charlene,
move the conversation slightly?
you want me to help you with that spreadsheet?
Hopefully we we kind of answer this question. You know, clearly we haven't done as much romantic stuff from our women as maybe we're a bit bush ourselves.
We have, man. We just don't want to. I think we just don't want to go. We just don't see them as romantic anymore.
I'll be honest with you. There's two things that's going on. One, I don't know if it's romantic or not. I just think it's the right thing to do. And two, I don't remember the stuff that I do purposely.
The stuff that I brought up just now, I didn't remember. The Paris one is the only one I can remember. Everything else I forget.
I done Paris, but that wasn't with this woman. She knows. I've
Anyways.
told her. Yeah, she knows.
This is the thing you must tell your another relationship advice. Tell your woman everything. Because then
About your previouses.
And you know what's so sorry about that.
Go
You know
on,
what's
go
so
on,
beautiful about it? She didn't care because she's not like France didn't mean anything to her. It would be a lot bigger for me to take. I'm supposed to do this anyway. It would be a lot bigger for me to take her to somewhere like Gambia than it would for me to take her to France.
Yes.
And she'll be 10 times happier with going to Gambia. Yeah, she'll be 10 times happier than if I went to Saturday to go France. Don't get me wrong, she'd enjoy France, but it would be like this doesn't. You know what I'm saying to you? It doesn't bang like
Africa resonates.
Yeah, it resonates
Yes.
with her properly. So
She's an African woman.
so now that I've said it on the podcast, I've got to take her anyway. But now I have to.
We'll take it to
It's all
Gambia.
good.
Yeah,
The Gambia.
So this is how it went. Yeah, I think after I met the missus.
Hold on. Simple Simon is opening up. This is episode 44, and it's the first time of season 2.
Oh, yeah.
And Simple Simon is opening up.
You joker. So when we met, or what have you, I must have been ready to. I said to her, "Oh, you know what? What do you reckon? We should just go to Gambia, innit?" And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, let's just go to Gambia." I said it randomly, and she was like, "Yeah." Like she was properly blown away by that. Circumstances meant that I couldn't take her when I wanted to take her, but it's always been on the list. So it's something that I'm gonna do. Maybe next year.
All
Crikey.
together now.
That's the romance, innit?
Yeah.
There you go.
Good for you. Good for you.
Do any of you lot have work husbands or wives? Work wives, sorry.
I've got work wife, and my wife knows my work wife.
I've got about 6.
In fact, that same Valentine's Day that I did the table thing for my actual wife. She wasn't my wife at the time. I gave my work wife a Valentine's gift.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Because she had just broken up from her actual husband, and she was going through a rough patch.
Is your eye?
Huh?
Is your eye?
No, she's older than me by a year or 2.
What?
Work wife.
Have you not got
Have you not heard of a work wife?
No, I haven't.
Oh, come
Okay,
on.
so they say a work wife is the person that your work is potentially like your wife,
Yeah.
basically.
You
So
spend more
time with that person than you do with the person
You
at
spend
home.
more waking hours with people at work than you do with your partner if you have your normal 9 to 5. And like most people, couples in the weekends, you just spend time doing stuff without your actual
No,
partner.
I've never heard the term. I understand it fully.
So
totally.
did you ever have a work wife?
No.
Somebody that would sometimes bring you food, somebody that you could converse with a bit different. Like you know, certain like
I
you
had close
you'd work
relationships
together.
with some, but maybe under the jurisdiction of what a work wife is, probably I have had one before.
Yeah. There's nothing going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
It's
There's
just-
nothing
yeah,
going on.
It's just like a close spa at work, but it just happens to be But I've never had one.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I've never had a wet wife, boy. I don't acknowledge them.
I've had a 6 or 7.
I get
Anyway, let's get back to your 6 or 7. How can you have so many?
Because
Whore.
yes,
Because they
So
love
he's
him.
opening his legs at work.
you joker. Because the staff turnover is so high.
But don't you have to spend some time with a woman before
but
she can be a work wife?
I've been working at my workplace for a while, and the staff turnover is high in the sense that somebody might be there for 3 years and then they turn over, and then somebody else, and then there's another 2
2
years,
years
and then
and
turn over 1
year
year
and a
and then
half.
turn over.
I had that one job for 10 years. I never had a wife.
But it's also because I'm a utility person as well, so I do stuff outside of the remit of what I need to do to help people out.
Yeah, I did that.
And as soon as you do that, I find that people are more.
You acknowledge them.
He
That's the
said I'm
problem.
a utility person.
Yeah,
Like Jamie Carragher.
Crikey.
I can't believe you got your one of Valentine's gift.
that was a bit far.
Yeah.
It was nice,
My
but
missus knows about it.
This
No,
is
it's not
why
that.
they say to you in the last podcast or whatever that you're doing things for women that you're supposed to be doing, buying gifts. Like I agree with buying the link gifts. I agree with that if you want to buy the link gifts.
Link,
But
actual side piece.
yeah, but buying the work wife gift. Come on, bro. That money could be spent at home.
Yeah, but it was a cheap something. It was a token like gift.
Token is that's even worse because that means you thought about it.
No, you're talking like
Of course
a
I
woman.
thought about
now.
it.
He's talking like a woman now.
He
boy.
thought about it though. He took the time to go out of effort.
Yeah, but it
in the
wasn't.
break.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not. But like you said, there's
no.
nothing going on. There's no.
There's
chance
nothing going
of
on. I
anything.
guarantee you that now he's that dick in the glass.
Nah.
No, she's got a man now.
I bet you're the dick in the glass.
No, because if I was, when she broke up with the dude, then she would have come for me. Innit?
Nah, because she can't
Listen,
come for you.
I cannot be anybody's.
calculated, you
I
know.
cannot be anybody's penis in plastic because they know they could never have me. So it's oft to be the dick in the glass. Yeah, the same way I said it the other way around. If there was a woman that I
Around
thought I
stuff.
could get, then I must think I can get them.
What?
There's- No woman is stupid enough to think that she can take me away from my wife.
Oi.
Yeah, I'm not hanging around with any woman that's that dumb to think that they could. No, but come on, really.
Is there
Really,
any woman in? Is there
really,
anybody
really,
in
really,
here
really?
who thinks that there's a woman out there that thinks they could take them away from their
No,
missus?
no woman is I know of in my head is that stupid to think like that. I actually talk to. Maybe there's some woman that's outside that I banged 5 years ago that thinks she has some sort of special hold on me. But there's no woman I talk to on a regular basis. Whether I work with them or I'm bedrooms with them or I see them out on road regularly to really think that they could take me away from my woman.
What?
That's just dumb. And I don't think any. And no, come on, no. So no, I was never anybody's nut because she would never think something like that.
I don't think there's anybody out there the same as me that could think they could take me away from my woman. I think they know better than to even come to talk to me without not thinking. I think I might be one of the people that they will be a bit scared to even have the discussion with because of the way I'll cuss them.
Didn't I just say earlier on? Wasn't the conversation that I said if I let a woman even think that, then that's the disrespect to my woman in the first place. I said I wouldn't even. I could never allow a woman to think that.
Everything what you two said, I agree.
So you don't think there's any woman out?
Everything what you two said, and I don't know why you're having a smile and thinking that's not the case. You know, for fuck's sake. That's why I call myself the underdog sometimes. You don't believe what I say.
No, I'm not saying that you don't think that. I don't think that you would go to another woman.
I know what the question
no,
is.
No, hold on. I'm not even saying that I think there's another woman that could think that.
So what are you saying?
I didn't say anything, but the way that you came to look at me like he was
Because
maybe like
you gave me that look.
You little second guessing yourself.
No.
I'm just saying, under the dog. I'm just asking.
Under the dog.
No, because I suppose it depends how long the relationship is, isn't it? It all depends. Simple.
What?
Do you think there's a woman out there that thinks they could take you away from the woman?
Probably.
It's simple to realist.
Probably.
Okay.
But doesn't that show something about you then?
No, not necessarily. I don't agree with that.
But not necessarily. It could do, but not necessarily.
I think that women fantasize about things and make things into their brain sometimes. So then that could be a case either way.
All right, yeah, you do have them sick women that actually think they're more important than they actually are.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, that is standard. There's blatantly people out there that think they're more important than they are. Blatantly.
So annoying, them people, man.
A big
Shoot.
Raw, like pigeons.
Nah, they're annoying, bro.
Ah, man.
They think they're more important, and then when you show them how important they are, they get upset. But I'm like, since when have I showed you that you're a form of any importance? Like, why did you think that you was important? Why did you make this up in your brain that you're important?
Bang da da dang.
Because sometimes it's like, I don't know.
I wouldn't even put Vicks on your chest.
It could be a factor
I
of different
wouldn't
things.
even put Vicks on your chest.
Nah, man, there's women out
Damn.
there.
What's
Either,
wrong with
either,
you, bruv?
either everybody else wants them, so they
Damn.
think that you must join the list, or their dad treat them like a princess or something, and they think everybody. I don't know, man, but there's women that it does happen once in a while. You come across a woman, and they're the type of women that are usually end up falling out with me because they don't get the treatment that other men clearly give them. That I don't. It's like that's reserved for somebody
But I
else.
find that works good for me. Like if I don't treat somebody special, they respect it because they know that I'm not after something.
It depends on what type of person it is.
Yeah,
And it depends on what kind of special.
Anyways, I'm
Special,
gonna
so special, so special.
last question before. Well, this is my thing now. Do you know about this account from this woman called Oloni?
Yeah, alone. Yeah. Twitter account.
Yeah, she's a sex therapist or
Nigerian
something like
sex
that,
therapist. I didn't know it existed.
Or relationship therapist.
I didn't know it existed.
I follow somebody that retweets a lot of her stuff, so I've seen her. And what she does is, I don't know if she's got a blog or something, but basically, I only see her, like I said, these retweets. And it will be stuff
She's very
like,
popular on
women, tell me what sexual fantasies you have about men. And she's going to like email me or inbox me, and she'll read or send me a message. I'll, what do you call it? Screenshot it, put it out, and then I'll make it private. And she's done that before. So you hear women say, "I wish 5 men did this," and I wish like all these fantasies that women had. And recently she's done one where she said it's not going to be private. It was the shoot your shot. It was women. If you know a man that you like, send him a text, telling him that and asking him out. Yeah. Screenshot it and send it to me, and I'm gonna read because she's got a popular thread, and everyone's gonna see it, and I'll repost it. But it's not a private thing, so everyone's name is
anonymous.
It's not anonymous. Yeah. So, the joke was a lot of the men were saying no in their own special ways, and like men is just like laughing, like now you know what it feels like to be a man and to get shot down.
Yep, rejection.
Salute Taser Black from Free Shots. So you made a video. And he was, the thing that made me laugh is that he was fully dressed, sitting on the bed. And he was like, so I just want to shout out all the women that was, doing this Oloni shoot your shot thing. So yeah, I just want to say, you're all, what did he say? He said something like you're all, now you know how it feels. You're all, he called him a word anyway. And then he got into bed and just put the gun over his head and I'm dead to sleep. And I was busting up. He goes, now you see how it is, how you lot all going like bitches all the time or something like that anyway. And you see how it feels. Okay, so bye. And he covers himself. And I said, yes, it's true. Because women, it's not as easy as you think.
Some of the ones I read, it seems that right now her account has been deactivated, so I won't be able to see. I can't say the things
On the basis of it.
No, apparently she deactivated her own account.
Oloni?
Just right now, I'm going through Twitter. I was just gonna go onto her page and look at them, but I can't find her page. And then everyone's like, "Where's Oloni? Where's Oloni?" And somebody's like, "Be careful, don't worry. She's deactivated the account. She hasn't been cancelled on that." But some of the ones I saw were, "Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm cool. Would you like to go out?" Like, no. Like, why? You knew it was your friend I liked. But that was one of the ones that I really understood and said, yeah, if I'm talking to you and I've told you I like your bedroom, then what made you think you should? This is the same thing I was talking about. This is self-importance.
What made you think?
Yeah, blatantly he said it. There's other ones that it's like, hello, and the person said, this phone is out of service.
My network is down. That was one.
But actually wrote it.
There's one where it said send messages and it says you can no longer send messages to these people, to this person.
Yeah, it's just been blocked.
People are savage.
This one is, are you in Lagos? Yeah, so just been busy. I'd like to go on a date. I'm asking you on a date whenever you're free. Could be next month. Oh, wow, that's kind. I'm getting married next week.
Wow. Gunshots of
I don't know.
own.
I don't know, man. For me, if a woman starts shooting their shot at you guys, let's bring it to us. Bring it home, innit? So if you was single and then your inbox suddenly bing, 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 and then a hottie. Well, even not a hottie, but let's say one of your people there.
That's when you know you're old. Start using words like
hottie.
hottie. Jesus.
A woman that comes into your inbox and says to you, "Hi, I'm so and so. I want to go out on a date." How do you respond?
I don't really like all this online kind of meeting stuff.
How do you respond, man?
I'll be like, I'm sorry.
What was the question? Sorry, I was too busy actually reading more of these things.
So your message pings up. We'll do that all over
bang,
again.
dang, dang, yeah.
And then a woman comes into your inbox and was like, "Hi, Stav, I've heard you on the podcast. I now know you're single because you've no longer got a wife, blah blah blah." And
also, I'm actually single.
You're actually single. And then they go to you, "I would like to go out on a date with you." What do you say back?
All right, let Simple Simon finish saying what they're saying.
I can't remember now. I don't really like this online stuff, so I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, that's really kind of you, is nice, but you know.
So you're gonna actually respond?
Yeah, I'll probably respond.
Okay.
I think it's only polite to respond, isn't it?
Well,
At least acknowledge the person's existence.
I don't see a problem with it. It's we're in a day and age where communication levels are.
I'm not into this catfish blood clot business.
I know.
You understand?
I know what you're saying.
Catfish blood clot. I'm not into it, bro.
I know what you're saying. I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be some.
I've done it though.
No, but it's legit. You know it's legit. You know the person is a human being. That they're legit.
You
Right,
know that
okay.
they're a human being.
Right. I mean,
And not a
I
blood
think
clot
I think that you
catfish.
can meet somebody at the bus stop. You can meet someone in a rave at a funeral, or even online via a private message. I think we had this. We had this conversation
How do you know
before.
the dead person? It's cousin.
We had this conversation.
Sorry to hear that.
I think
Can I
it
have your
was.
number, please?
I think it was.
You look sexy in black.
No, you don't got to stop.
I think it was.
If that's what you look like when you're
episode
crying, I want to see your
30
bang face.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Oh my
How do you know the departed? Oh, that used to be my husband. Oh, so you're single now?
Oh my god.
That's bad, man. No, but
It can happen.
we mentioned this in the previous podcast, saying, "Is there a wrong place to court a woman?" Do you understand? Can you court a woman at a funeral or at a flipping wake or something like that? You know what I mean?
You know churches are cold, and your nipples come out really nice in this
Oh
cold church.
my god.
Flipping it.
Jesus.
God always brings signs to people, and those nipples are a sign.
Probably.
So you're
Guys
up
are
for
evil. I don't see a problem with it. I mean, if it's legitimate, authentic, and it's a real person, and they're talking with proper English and none of the stupid broken slang stuff, I may be receptive. And
I've done it before. I've done it before.
yeah,
Despite what I've said, I've done it before.
is
I
what
have
I'm saying.
gone. I have actually.
Gone on dates.
I have gone on a date. I think somebody did kind of hit me. Like, okay, we were in a one of these Facebook groups, and we were one of the debating ones. I think this was
Okay, sorry, carry.
yeah. So I was in the Facebook debating group. We had it wasn't our one. It was a different one, and we had a conversation. We didn't even have a direct conversation. I interacted on one of the posts. She must have been on the same post or whatever, and then she hit me in the DMs later on, and we went out on a date, and we had a nice conversation.
It went down. Did it go past the conversation?
No, we had a nice conversation. That was it.
Yeah, same thing with you.
Wahala?
He's answered it.
No, I haven't answered.
Oh.
Or do you want me to go
You were
first?
the one that asked the question. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
I don't see it a big deal. Personally.
It depends on what it is. If it's somebody that I've had numerous conversations with, and they come in the DM and they ask me,
In the DMs.
"Do you want to go out?" I was probably. It depends on whether or not I think they're worth my time. If
That's
I'm
what I'm
honest.
saying.
So if I say I don't really want to waste my time chatting to them, if it's not a date, they just want to go out and do something, and I don't see it as a date, then I'll probably be more receptive to go out.
What if she drops it to her is, "Look, listen, Wahala, I want to go out with you, but the question I got to ask is chicken or steak?"
What's that got to do with anything?
Mate.
No, not more. For me, it's the person, innit? If we're cool, and I think you're cool, and you want to go out and do something fun, then I might do something fun with you.
Chicken or steak?
But if that's not fun, that's a
She'll
necessity.
say, "All right, Wahala, you know what? I got 2 tickets to the Arsenal game. Let's go to the game and then have a butter to eat."
Yeah, so for me, if it's somebody that I'm cool with, I'll
That's
go.
it.
I'll go to the game. I'll say, that's cool. I'll go to the game. If it's somebody I've not really have I never had any discussion with or nothing, and you're just coming out of the woodwork and it's just like, I've seen you about on, I've seen some of your posts or I heard you on the podcast, and I think you're nice, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to go out?
Yeah,
no,
but
that's not going to happen.
I think if you're going right into the deep end like that, for me, I would back off a bit because you have to have some kind of a cohesive conversation first. So if you're having a conversation over, because sometimes, and I've done it before, you could be in the DMs or whatever and have a conversation for hours. And then it can go on to day 2 or day 3. You might not speak on day 4, and then day 5 you're chatting again.
Yeah.
If you're having a good conversation over a period of time like that, and then they say, "Do you know what? Let's take this off,
Yeah, that's completely
offline,
different.
and then let's see if we can meet up." To me, that's no big deal. But if the first question you're asking, "Let's go out," to me, that's a bit too forward.
What about if they come about on the sly? Because this is
Explain sly.
All right, so Stavros here. Most of my dates before I met my wife.
Long time.
No. Because even with her, the 5 years before my wife, I would say ish, somewhere around that. Most of my dates, most now, were through Facebook. Women hollering at me through Facebook. All right, and it was either through the group or whatever. Yeah, our Facebook group back in the day that we've spoken about before. And the thing that Wahala just brought up, and Mr. Wolf reiterated about a woman just coming out the blue, that happened to me as well. But I'm trying to remember what it was now, because they didn't tell me they liked me until we actually met. And they told me straight up I was lying. I've seen you online. I like the look of you.
I like you and I want you.
Yeah,
That sounds like a Eartha Kitt type move on Boomerang.
it worked. It worked.
You're
But
easy though. You're easy.
I
Leg.
like you and I want you.
You're
No, we
easy.
can do this.
Don't
easy.
say that, man.
You're hard, man. You're easy, man.
Okay.
You're easy.
no, because all those women I was talking about dating, I didn't do
Okay,
anything.
no,
I
I didn't
didn't
be sex, but you're easy to get out.
What do you mean get out?
Like,
You're a
easy.
whore.
You're easy to get out.
You're
on
just
a
a
date.
whore.
No, I just feel that
What, a
you know.
date whore? Are you saying
He's
he's
a
a
date
yeah,
whore.
yeah.
You're a date whore.
I think out of everyone on this table, you're the easiest person to get out.
Easiest.
What does get out mean then?
Get out of their house to go and meet.
Yeah, you're a whore.
I like being outside anyways.
You're a
So
social whore.
when I was single, I liked running. In fact, I
Social
still like
whore.
running. I still like running roads.
Social whore.
Yeah, running road I could do it, and if you give
Social
if so okay, if that's how it looks, I guess so. But I would say that I'm the least likely to bang.
No, I'll say I'm the least likely.
I'm the least likely to bang.
Okay, stuff.
I'm the most likely to bang. I just say. I ain't trying to play. I'm the most likely.
I'm sorry, but I'm with Wahala, mate.
There is no
He's the
way.
least likely to bang.
I've
Even if the
dated
pom pom was right there.
Triple amount of
tipping
women
on
he
the
did,
thing. You say nope.
and we probably banged.
It
some
depends.
numbers.
If he got stew in it, he'll go for it.
I wouldn't go for it. I would use a knife to take the shoe off.
You won't touch it, innit?
I'll
Can
use
you
a spirit to
imagine?
remove
Can you
it.
imagine one veggie with stew and shaki meat?
I use instrument to remove it and then go somewhere else separate.
Right in the corner, innit?
Yeah,
Facing
Facing
the corner. innit?
Yeah. Like
just
a rat.
Just looking back. Move. I'm eating.
All right. On that note, let's do our goodbyes, our church notes, and get out this piece.
Before we say goodbye, we got a large up. Anthony Joshua yesterday. By the time you get this, it will be
last week.
Yeah, last week, Anthony Joshua won his fight. It was a very difficult fight for him. He took the opponent 12 days before because the original opponent had to pull out due to injury. He was the heaviest he's ever been. So clearly he trained and built up his body for this guy who's almost as tall as him, Anthony Joshua being 6'6". So he fought a guy that was a lot shorter, a lot more agile, and he found it difficult. And large up to Anthony Joshua for adapting, for getting through. The stoppage was too early, although I still think he would have won. But the guy that he fought, Carlos Takan, he got a lot of plaudits. He was fantastic. And if you see his two eyes, bruv, split like a knife through butter. And that showed you the kind of damage that Anthony Joshua gave him. But for me, the favourite part of that night was when he brought his dad into the ring. I said, this is my dad, straight fresh from Nigeria.
What did the dad say?
He didn't say anything. I was just
He
smiling,
pumped
pumped his fists. And you know what? For me, we know the impression of black family in it. And we can see that the kind of impression is that fathers are not there. We know that there's fathers around here that do their thing for their children, nieces, nephews, and what have you. And it's nice to see black men there for their children, watching them grow up and, you know, looking at their successes as well.
Black men, don't be waste. Raise your children.
Raise your children, man. If you are out there and you're not doing your thing,
You're rat bastards.
you're a waste man.
Yeah. So do you want to say goodbye now?
No, simple you did.
Simple Simon. It's at Simple Simon FB on Twitter. That's where you can holler and get at me if your needs be. And yeah, please tweet, ask the questions, criticize, get at me if you need to get at me. Why not?
Yeah, this is Mr. Wolf. It's Yemi online. That's where you can catch me on Twitter and Yemi's Insta on Instagram. And via Facebook, you can catch me through the ESN Facebook page.
Yo, at Big Wahala, and I am going to ask you to get involved in a project by one of our listeners, Cake Lady, aka Chica. I think that's what she's going to be called on something coming up soon. And Yeah, she's got a business called 13 Rhythms, and she's got a project at the moment called Re13, where she's making basically she's doing some crowdfunding for some projects that she's doing in Zimbabwe. I believe the projects are to do with helping to do like recycling and stuff like that within the country, and it's a good thing she's doing basically for Zimbabwe. So it's recycling, refresh, renew, and crowdfunding. That's what she's doing. And she's doing stuff to empower women to, get involved in stuff to do economics and stuff like that. And I think you guys should try and check it out. And the hashtag is we are why we 13.
Why?
So why hashtag why we RE13. So it's WHYWERE13. It's terrible. I'm the worst ad person.
I was gonna say if ads do come.
Yeah,
I can't read them.
You're not a Carlsberg ad.
No, I'm not an advert type person at all.
You're not Carlsberg.
But at least I tried, ain't it? So, the 13 Rhythms is the company.
Maybe I tried.
And as I said, the crowdfunding is for a project called Re13.
Where do you find 13 rhythms? Sorry, rhythms. Is you?
You're asking me. You can
Go
find
to
them at
her,
13.
go to her
You can find them
page.
at 13rhythms.com.
Okay.
and also go to maybe Twitter.
Is
page and
is
shit.
rhythm spelt like a white person or a black person?
Like a white person.
I don't know what
Rhythms.
black person's.
Rhythms is how a black person would spell it, and white person would spell rhythm.
Fuck
It's
that,
spelled the way
man.
it's supposed to be
We'll
spelled.
spell it the same way as well, you bastards.
13RHYTHMS1. .com, sorry.
2 + 2 is 4.
Bloody hell.
Minus 1 quick math.
You know,
Quick maths.
Anyway, let's go and find the Kate lady. Big her up for doing this for,
Yeah, salute yourself.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, man. That's good to see people going back home
Africa.
and doing things for the people back there.
Africa.
So support. If you're one of them people that listen to this podcast and you're all about that life, then go support at 13rhythms.com.
She's on the last episode of Chatting Ish as well, actually. Big up Chatting Ish for coming back, man. I'm enjoying the last couple of episodes that they've had for coming back. Salute SA for doing his thing, Mikey.
Hey, SA,
when you are around.
you need to make your episodes a smaller file format because since we were overseas, I can't listen to it because it's so big and you can't download it on my Apple device. I don't know what it's like on an Android unless it's through Wi-Fi.
Ain't that a personal thing to tell, man?
Huh?
Ain't that a personal thing to tell, man?
It's advice for anybody that's going to do a podcast. Make your podcast in not 320 kbps. You're not doing
a good service.
We're not playing in clubs. Like it's just a podcast, isn't it? So I will tell him when I see him in the flesh. maybe I should cut this out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the biggest. I'm leaving it in, man. It's a big deal.
He's cool, man. SA's cool.
Yeah.
He's gonna take it.
Yeah, he ain't no bitch. All right.
Or moist. He's not moist.
He's not moist.
Where is that, boy?
But he's beige.
He's a runner.
He's what?
He's a runner.
He's a runner.
Oh, okay.
Eastern
He meant
European,
literally.
Literally.
Eastern European or East African?
Eastern African. What am I talking about, man?
Listen,
That man's Polish.
I can't rewind that one.
black
I'm not rewinding that one.
I am Stavros Boss. Catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. The Stavros says for this episode is a documentary called Rise, and that is spelled not conventionally. It's RIZE. It's old. It's about 12 years old now, and it's about crumping.
I remember that.
Stroke clown dancing.
I remember that.
Yes, it was. I remember I was at some sort of film festival, so I guess it's 2005 or something, and I saw a trailer for it. And it blew my mind. Watching Crumping for the first time blew my mind. I remember I was with my ex in some cinema in West End, and I bought the documentary when it came out. It's by is it David LaChapelle or something? He's a famous photographer, and he directed this documentary because obviously he got enchanted with Crumping. You may not know about Crumping, or you may. It's a bit old news now, but the documentary is very good. I suggest you source it, watch it. At least try and watch the trailer or something. Maybe we'll tweet it, just the trailer at least. And then if you like what you see, maybe you'll find it. You can ask me to lend it to you, but I ain't gonna. And DVD, nobody watches DVDs anymore.
No.
It's all out of fashion now. But anyway, I bought it when it was in the DVD. So anyway, that's that. You can catch us collectively on social media at ESN Podcast. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Facebook, search for Eloquently Saying Nothing, and we'll get back to you there. Just follow us or like us or whatever you do on Facebook these days, because I'm never on there anymore. And hashtag ESN Pod. If you say anything anywhere, we search for that hashtag and we respond. One of us will get back to you. Clearly not Mr. Wolf, because he needs help with
Responding to
any.
Twitter.
Well, if his Instagram is cool, you know.
I'm doing better.
Well done. We're very proud of you.
I'm doing better on the.
I don't mean it in a bad way, because the thing I like about Mr. Wolf is he will learn, he will try, he doesn't give up.
That's definitely one thing I don't do.
All right. So thank you for listening to episode 44 of Eloquently Saying Nothing. Oh, and also if you have any questions for next week's episode, you can email us as well. You can send it to all of those social medias or email us at, I'm losing my breath because I'm fat.
At esnpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you. We are out.
If you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag Bowl Live.
2 + 2 = 4.
And we did the mistake with the